Okay, we're starting with today RODC and then Forest Trust. Also, we're going to try to include group policy, some of the group policies, introduction to that. Then we're going to go for deeper group policies in last of the classes. So today we're going to just talk about first RODC. So let's just go there. And anyone knows what is RODC? Read-only domain controller, but what is the function of that? What is the main purpose? One-liner. I need RODC because security, exactly. How do we secure? What is the security there in RODC?
So authentication levels.
For?
Authentication levels of the some remote or a place that doesn't have any admin.
So authentication of remote users. The question is, does RODC authenticate?
No, it will send to the validity.
It forwards the authentication. It does not authenticate itself, but we're going to, there is, okay, when does it authenticate?
When it's offline, it has no connection with the. Yeah.
Can it authenticate local users? So let me just create that. We can add. It only authenticates when we add any user. Automatically out of the box you deploy it, it does not authenticate, right? So what's going on here? Let's just go through the slides very small, and then we're going to, I'm just going to draw this on the paintbrush. So it's used for low security locations with few users. Okay, it only caches user account information for only a small amount of users for a particular location. It only caches user account information for only a small amount of users. It doesn't automatically do that. We have to define those users. Oh, this guy. Then we're going to talk about a scenario. But it can authenticate if it has the credentials of the user, right? If it caches that information. And RODC allows users that the administrator allows to log into a particular. We as an administrator can allow, and then RODC will allow that, right? If we add them manually. That's a manual process. RODC downloads only the user account information that it needs. It does not upload anything to the writable domain controllers. Really? True or false? Between RODC and root DC, or between RODC and read and write domain controller, there's a two-way replication. Replication is domain controllers update each other. Between RODC and read and write domain controller. What is a read and write domain controller? The actual DC we just installed out of the box, it's read and write. What do you mean by read and write? What's the difference between RODC and read and write? Yeah, you were saying?
If any change at one side, it syncs to the other side.
Exactly.
If there is change on other side, it syncs to this side. But in case of, I think, read only, it will only receive, it will only push that. It will not receive.
It will receive. Whatever
Opposite.
Okay, sorry. But, it will
But
not push
exactly, as you said, read and write,
we can add objects, we can remove objects.
make a
we can
change
do
in it.
changes.
Exactly.
But in RODC
We cannot make any changes. Exactly.
Replica in the sense does not do anything, just copying the DCs.
So read and write, we can make changes. Read only, we cannot make changes. But whatever changes we made on read and write will be replicated to read only. Second thing, yeah, you're saying?
No, that's my question here. RODC's feature in Active Directory or
It's an Active Directory role. It's a feature in Active Directory. We cannot call it feature, but it's inside Active Directory. It's not an outside thing.
not server?
No, it's not server. It's Active Directory related. Second thing was that RODC is placed in remote branches. Normally, it was supposed to be placed in remote branches where there is no local tech guy available, right? And where there is a danger of that maybe the server would be physically stolen. So suppose you have a big corporation, 300 offices, and you have to have your presence in some those areas as well, which are not well developed. You have to have your presence, just like banks are also in villages, right? Bank branches are in villages as well. So what you do is maybe you got a room there in one of the offices, rented it, and you put your one of the servers in the closet, and there are 3 or 4 guys there, and they are just offering your company's products. Okay, but the thing is, you did not invest much. The thing is that you have your read and write domain controller in the closet right now. So what happens? It's a remote branch. You also don't care because you didn't invest much as a big company. Somebody just takes hold of your read and write domain controller. So, and the person knows exactly what to take, how to take the credentials, how to steal the passwords, right? All the applications are there. So the server is physically stolen. Now all the passwords of your higher management, lower management, whoever, all the passwords are there. And through that password, the guy can just access all the file servers and just steal all the information and sell it to your rival company. Your company is down. So just because you had some bad security in some remote location, you put a read and write domain controller there, and that's how your company can even be taken down with that. So why don't you just put a RODC there, so you're not worrying about that any information will be stolen, right? RODC is offering authorization, but it's not offering authentication unless we define who to authenticate and who not to authenticate, right? Not to authenticate is a list of that. We're going to install that, we're going to know that, right? But the thing is that RODC is for security, and it's what we need. But nowadays, any security is less security. This is a formula for big organizations as well. There are many banks who have deployed RODCs in their very good, well protected, well invested branches as well. So any security is, but if they need something, there are of course other ways to. I'm going to create a diagram here or a drawing here, and I'm going to create a scenario. Then we will understand a lot more. But let me just finish the slide. You don't have to have a GC on an RODC. What's a GC for? Global catalog for indexing and user logon, right? You don't have to have a GC on a RODC to cut down replication traffic between branches. Already, normally we are talking about remote areas or the branches where the WAN connection sucks, right? Already. So you don't have to have that GC because it's going to create traffic. It's partial information of all the objects in the forest. Now if you have 300 branches, that's a lot of objects. Partial information of lots of objects, right? We can even use server core to configure RODC. So already you can have a low-end server where you can just put RODC. Okay. Passwords will be omitted while the rest of all AD objects will be present. The thing is that authentication out of the box is not available unless we define. And second thing is that authorization, it will still let you access files. Or suppose you're part of a security group that has access to certain file servers in that organization or in that remote office. So authorization information, what groups are you member of, what OUs you're member of, it still lets you access that information, or it will let you use that information of the users. Oh, he's a member of this, he's a member of this. This group has access to these file servers. Okay, let him. So for this authorization related information, it's not accessing the read and write domain controller for this information. But authentication, if you haven't defined manually those users, it's going to forward that information of authentication to the nearest read and write in the region, right?
I have more than one domain controller.
In?
I will also 2 or 3 RODC.
We can have 1 RODC. Yeah.
I have 3 or 4.
So you don't need. So one thing in the start of the slide, for fewer users branch, a branch that has, even if it's a bank branch and it's a small branch in a small village, or so it would be like 10 users, 15 users have actually using the authentication computers. So it's for small branches already. The replication occurs from read and write DC to RODC and not vice versa, right? Oh, we know that. When a user logs on to an RODC, the request for the authentication of username password is forwarded by the RODC to read and write. Let me just create the diagram. Credential caching. It caches the credentials. See, So such easy information. Next. Okay, no. So RODC verifies credentials and not forwards it, right? Passwords for select. What is caching? Cache.
Keeping
Keeping
the copy somewhere.
it locally.
In memory.
Storing it locally. So caching it, right? Exactly. So credential caching means information about the user, user's username password is cached. If we decide to do that, and we're gonna do the when we install. Okay, make sure you already have, while we're talking about that, a DC and a member server joined to it, right? So let me just check that because the lab is coming fast here. So let me just make sure I have that. So one member server, because we are going to again install the Active Directory, right, on that. So have the binaries installed on that as well. Okay, there we go. So Humber start and server 2 start. Oh, start. Okay. Hey, somebody became MCSA, right? Oh yeah, Samosa factory. Okay.
Short-term loss,
What?
memory loss patient.
No, memory very good about samosa.
Really has samosa.
I think you forwarded just 15 minutes.
Samosa memory. Okay, so let's just go ahead and now the plan. So let me just create that. Wow, too many paintbrushes. Need to brush them all out. Okay, so there are two branches here. Branch number 1, branch number 2, and there is that RODC here. No, read and write domain controller. Okay, wrong drawing. Okay, right drawing. RODC here, and again wrong. R and R/W here, and RODC here, right? So this branch has like, okay, 20 users, suppose 20 users are here. Make sure they are member of, so when we create a new user, they become a member of a certain security group. What is that security group? Every user when you create by default becomes a member of one security group. Domain users, exactly. Domain users. Those who are only member of domain users are nobodies. Okay, I should not say that. Okay. So the thing is that they don't have, they cannot join PC to domain. They cannot, do a lot of domain level and high level things that domain admins, administrators, enterprise admins can do, right?
But they can
10 other, okay, they cannot join more than 10, right? I was thinking it's coming. I then kept on talking. Yeah. You cannot do that from a normal user. Okay, that's a good input. The thing is, many of the administrative tasks you cannot do, right? Many of the administrative tasks you cannot do when you are part of the domain users. So those 20 users, they are maybe sitting on the counter and they are helping other customers for the company, right? Now what's going on here? They come in the morning and the RODC does not have their credentials cached yet. So, and they have a very crappy WAN connection here. But still, okay. So suppose they're in Nunavut, right? You know what's that?
Probably some place with less security and
With igloos, actually.
whatever.
Igloo, you know what? Ice houses.
Yeah.
Huh.
Eskimos.
Eskimos, and so Nunavut is a territory of upper territory. There is, since we're talking about that, there's a job for Nunavut government for system administrators, $100 per hour,
Oh my.
and hundreds of system administrators here have applied, and I also got passed in the first interview. Anyway, so but it's like a wilderness, It's just government building there and few hundred houses.
And
That's a city.
the rest are the goals and
The rest are
Polar
and polar bears. Hello, I want
Do you know
exchange over mailbox as well.
how much they get for tax and saving for the vessel?
How much?
$30,000
Okay, bye bye. I'm going. Tax return is 30,000.
$20,000 each vessel.
Okay, don't say that. Anyway, so so hundreds of administrators, and they every 6 months they recruit. So they just go, then they drill down your really expertise. Now, before they needed SCCM expert only. Now they need VMware and Active Directory and storage. That's it. Expert.
why are you telling us that?
Uh,
We wanna
if anyone could apply, it's still going on. And if you want that, just I'll send you the link,
By
email.
applying on same post, we are going to compete with you. Are you saying this? This is why saying no,
You know what? In the end, I'm not going there. So it's more for the fun of the interview. Okay, it's recorded. I need to edit that. Hey guys, I'm going there. If you're listening to this video, come on. Okay. Anyway, so if it is in Nunavut, and Nunavut is connected through satellite, and it's a slow link there, and it's like $700 per day they pay you. Okay. Anyway, again, technical part. Yeah. So it's just all amazing information. So if the internet connection is crappy there, so RODC users, they come in the morning. What do? They log in and their information is forwarded to read and write domain controller. So now there's a storm here. What happens? Internet, the connection is gone. Okay, that was a. I really want to make it a perfect one. Yes. Okay. Anyway, so WAN is down. They're in the morning. They want to log in. What do? Okay. Suppose you say their profiles are cached and they will log in through cached information. Okay. What about the local server access? They have file server. They have print server. They have server. Whatever. So over the network, they need access. They are locally logged into locally cached profiles. Anyway, they want to log in, and suppose there is no locally cached profile. You have a script that deletes all the locally cached profiles when they restart the computer, when they shut down and go home, right? So next day they have to be authenticated from the server, not from the locally cached profiles. If you run that script, and in many organizations they run that script that delete the locally cached profile if anyone else gets access, So what happens? They need to authenticate. They need to log in now, but the WAN connection is down. What do? What do you do next time? Because now they cannot log in. They're sitting there, and the storm is like till afternoon, and or even not the storm. The WAN connection itself is crappy. Everything is perfect. Weather is okay. It's just down. It's crappy connection, right? It's a remote site. What do? Caching comes then. Then you add these 20 users here. These 20 users, you add their credentials to this RODC, and then if the connection is down here, they will be locally authenticated from this RODC, and they will be able to use the authorization information is already there, so they will be able to log into the network and use the local resources, right? So you have to add those users, and you have to make sure one more thing. Basic thing was security, right? You're adding the credentials now. Now whenever it gets hacked, these credentials are in the hands of the hackers. So the second thing you have to make sure is
Running scripts every day to remove the cache.
no. Second thing you have to make sure is that these guys have no access to your headquarter resources if they don't have to have access. Don't add them to some groups that have access to file servers of the headquarters and others. If that was the security measure you wanted to take, these should be just members of domain users. Or if they are members, yeah, you're saying?
no.
Okay. That was,
Is it
Oh,
better like you can add the credentials in the morning or running a script which will remove the credentials?
that will be a lot of security as well. That's even higher level of security that
This is like something if we are adding 20 users and we are saying we are not adding them into some groups of the read and write domain controller.
like
So
some,
we are-
yeah.
Even though we are compromising the security of these 20 users.
No,
from
they
branch,
whatever you save here will get hacked if it is attacked. you have to take that chance. I mean, if they are not working for 20 days in 1 year, so that's like unproductive, really unproductive. So you have to catch somebody, but then you make sure that they are nobodies. So I would use the word nobodies, right? They are not having access to critical resources of your network. They are a remote branch. They're not supposed to give them access to local servers.
Security is compromised.
Yeah.
Not the invite domain.
Not the whole. They are not taking the whole company down with them.
At least the branch security.
Yeah, you're saying?
The
Yep.
Active Directory is encrypting the password. What do you mean by hacking?
You're saying that they cannot be hacked.
No, I'm
Any encryption can be decrypted.
But really, why
Even
would
Kerberos.
they decrypt that code?
Yeah.
They do, man.
You want me? Oh no. Okay.
No, I know you can, for example.
If I steal this
make
now-
a password blank or disabled or enabled, but can you guess the real password?
Not guess. You use
Can
the
you
applications.
extract it from the
From applications, yes. Active Directory user passwords, you can do that.
show you the exact password 1357.
Either it's going to change or it's going to show you the exact one. Show you the exact one is even better, but it will just change for your password and gone. That's it.
That is true.
What? Why are you even asking that question? Hey, hacking is much more advanced than
There is
securing.
There is tools on dictionary.
Dictionary tags are it guesses from a huge.
Takes a long
Yeah,
time.
and then it's encrypted as well. It's Kerberos. Kerberos is meant to be very secure, actually.
It takes 3 years.
They have their decrypted.
No, if encryption is very strong, then there are decrypting tools that if you pay to certain sites, they have very powerful decrypting tools that uses very strange algorithms that can really just decrypt and then hack your passwords, extract information from even DIT, the Active Directory database. So if the domain controller is physically stolen and you have the right tools, that's it. You got all the information. At least the credentials are there. Then after that, if those credentials were part of some really big groups and had access to very sensitive file servers, then it's a big deal. So it's just as another security measure that you need to at least have in mind, that okay, I'm giving access because they need to work, but still, what are the other extra security measures I can take? What are the security options I should have in my mind, right? So there could be other options that we're not in front of us right now, but anyway, if it's attacked, it's a remote branch, those users should be not part of very critical infrastructure. If it's if you had to put RODC, there must be a reason, right? So then take some extra precautions as well. Okay, so there will be one user who will also be part of one user will be the local admin of this RODC or one domain controller, right? One user who will still be a domain user, but will be able to at least do maintenance of a domain controller, will be able to log into a domain controller. So true or false? Oh, sorry. The next question where I was coming was, I said about that, not this one. Okay, so true or false again. Now the question is coming actually. So can a user who's just part of domain users log into a domain controller or not? Can a user, a simple user you just created and is member of just domain users security group, can that user log in to a domain controller or not? Okay, there's a yes. Is there a no as well? No, there's no, or there is no? There's no, which means yes. Okay, so 2 yeses. Anyone saying that, hey, don't test it now, or don't Google? No, I'm just kidding. Sorry, a domain I just create a new user. Suppose I don't add it to any admins group. Can that user log in to a domain controller or not? So any user who's just only part of the domain users is not allowed to log into a domain controller. Just try it. Oh, let's try now, because I need to prove that hey, that user is able to log into RODC. So what's the big deal? You're gonna ask, and I'm gonna say, normal users are not allowed to log into a domain controller. There is a local policy on domain controller, security policy that will not let you.
No locally domain.
Yeah, so how? So suppose you want that that user is a CEO. That CEO wants to access your domain controller. CEO tries, hey, I cannot log in. So what do you do to let him log into a domain controller?
We have to change the policy. Locally login.
There is another way. You know, don't change it for everyone.
Not done,
To
give him the rights.
exactly, you add that user to administrators group, right, or domain admins group,
No, we have to give him login locally, right?
or do that. But you have this is a longer way, right? If he's a CEO and he's trying to get, but yes, there are many ways to do that. Actually, few ways, not many ways. But simple user is not allowed to log into a domain controller unless you add that user, either give it specific permission, allow login locally to a domain controller, or you add that user to a domain admin, enterprise admin, administrators, whichever, right?
One user will be local admin of this application.
So what is the meaning of adding one user as a local administrator of RODC? You don't have a tech there, right? It's a remote branch again, and you don't have a tech guy. So you see that, oh, one guy has more knowledge about technology. Let's give one employee administrator access to RODC, right?
Just local
Administrator access, right? So what does that mean?
There is group, something like.
Yeah, there will be a group.
Just making a champion in our case. I was making a champion user. Once we discover that particular staff,
Make him what?
a champion user.
Champion user. Champion like
Yeah. Once we discover that a particular operation staff is already taken,
Yeah.
so instead of visiting that branch,
Yeah.
from the head office,
Yeah.
we empower the guy
Yeah.
to be able to locally manage.
Do what? So okay, we give local administrator rights. What can that user do? So all other 20 users, they cannot even log into RODC. This one user we will allow to log into RODC.
Yeah, because it's a one group user, normal user itself.
Yeah.
It can access the machine only solely, and it can check the connections, whatever small things, not the things which are
So this RODC has Active Directory right now, right? You let a user, you first make that user an administrator of that RODC, and then there is Active Directory inside. So is there a risk here? You know, you're giving access of administrator to a user here, and when the user logs in, the user can create a new account. Oh, the user can test, oh, can we delete that OU which has 20,000 users of the company? Right click, delete. Nothing happened. Okay. So anyway, the user can delete the Active Directory accounts, right?
no. What is the read only?
Yes, Active Directory he can see, but he cannot do anything in that. Not create, no change can be possible. So that user can see everything in the Active Directory. I mean, like, just it's in front of you, cannot make any changes there, right? And it's a local techie. You don't have to have send some outside tech and pay that person to reach to that mountainous area and just climb the rope and kill some bears. Oh, okay, I'm here. You have that file. Oh, your Outlook is not working. Oh, your Microsoft Word is not working. Okay, okay, bye. Are there bears on my way back? So so it's like this. So you don't want to send techies to very difficult places, right? Huh? Limited privileges. Active Directory will be showing there. There will be no change there, right? So we need to put that to test now, right? So we're going to be installing RODC. We're going to make one user administrator of this RODC. We're going to make 2 users more. We're going to cache their credentials. Oh, so we're going to total make 3 users, user 01, user 02, user 03. Let's create 3 users. And then one user, user 01, will have the access to administrator. So there will be a separate window for each of these tasks while during we are installing the RODC. It will ask, oh, which is that one user who's going to have administrator access? Which is, do you have any other users who do you want to add there? So there will be all the features there. So we understand the scenario, right? That local users we will only add them or cache their credentials in RODC if continuously we have a WAN disconnection and they cannot do their task. If the WAN connection is okay, don't add their credentials. They're just getting authentication, which is okay, right? So, but there is that facility, we should know that, right? So let's just do that. So we're gonna create 3 users, 1 user for administration, local administration of the RODC, 20 users, or 2 users for as normal users who are going to just be authenticated locally from this RODC in case of WAN disconnection. So, and also one more thing, if you want the user, so those 20 users, they will need a computer to log in, right? So that those computers, 20 computers, those computers have to be added manually as well to the RODC during the RODC installation or after RODC installation. There is one group created there, allowed RODC and denied RODC. There is a group created there, will be created there. So we have to add the computer name. So maybe there are Windows 7, 20 Windows 7 machines. You have to add those machine names as well. That from these machine names, these users will log in. Everything is manual, right? Because you're giving limited access. So you have to be careful. So machines need to be added along with machine names, actually, along with 20 users. Okay. So not much here. It's not very complicated. So prerequisite, it should receive updates from Windows Win2K 12 CD. Prerequisite 2, DFL and FFL should be either Win2K 3, Win2K 8. What is DFFL and DFL and FFL?
Domain function.
Yeah, domain function level and forest function level. So, sorry. What is this statement? Okay, first I need to master, selection. Only one RODC per domain per site is possible. One RODC per domain per site.
So you mean
Yeah, but the one site is the one server.
In one
If
site
the other
it
side
can
is
be
the
RODC.
two servers.
Yeah. Sorry.
no, if
Yeah.
one domain have more than one remote
Cannot be.
location?
One domain have more than one remote location. So
No,
designated as
one remote location.
one remote location.
One domain have more than one remote location.
So create.
2 or 3 sites.
Yeah. So create, but one domain,
One domain.
one site as well.
One domain.
One domain, one site. So for one site, so typically the scenario is that if you have 300 branches in a company, if they make every branch a child domain, and it's already considered a separate physical site, so it's already a site. If it's a child domain as well, suppose there is one domain with 2 branches
Yeah.
and 2 sites are there, okay, but there's one domain only. First of all, is it even possible? So this scenario is going to come in another way as well. So this is the first floor. Suppose this is the second floor, and there's a first floor and there's a second floor. Oh no, let's make it a third floor. Oh no, anyway. So it happens that this floor is one site, upper floor is second site. You can create a child domain of this floor on this floor, and you can create a child domain on upper floor, right? So sites can be separated by subnets as well. You can define those in the Active Directory sites and services, right? The thing is that if you have one domain and 2 sites, one RODC is possible. In 2016, it's different now.
Huh?
In 2016, Windows 2016, it's different now. They have added the capacity.
Not, in our case, like we have 2, 3 remote sites where they were like there is no physical security. So if we want to implement RODC, it's not possible then. We are compromising on the security then.
So yeah, let me just show that. So there are these 2 sites.
Yeah.
So if you have, this is the parent domain, This is the okay. In the parent domain, you have one one read and write domain controller. So if you do not create here a child domain, and you want to add a domain controller here, what would you call this domain controller?
We want
So it's a one domain. It's only one domain. So okay.
RODC then.
No. So this is a replica DC. I'm just not. So it's a Humber domain. It's kind of a design question. So Humber domain dot local, and suppose there's a child domain here. So it's Brampton dot Humber domain dot local. So there is a child domain here, but you decide not to create a child domain here, but you want to still add a domain controller. If you create a child domain here, obviously you need to install Active Directory to create a child domain, right? So this means there is definitely a domain controller here for the child domain, but you can decide, oh, I don't want this branch to be actually a child domain as well. I want this branch to be under this parent domain, or it could be just one domain spanning 2 branches or 10 branches. So they will replicate over the that WAN connection. So the users logging into this branch will locally authenticate, but the thing is that it is still not a child domain, right? So that's what you're saying, that if you have 2 sites here, in this site, parent site, you already have a read and write, right? So there's one site left here. So if there are, suppose, 3 sites or 4 sites here, there are 3 or 4 branches here, but they all span just one domain. They have a replica DC here. The replica DC gets updated by the headquarter branch or parent domain DC here. Now if they all span into one domain and they have just replica DCs here, they are not child domain or tree domains. So if you want to add now RODC, can you do that or not?
We can do that.
If you
even add it a single RODC right now. You can add one.
so it is 4 sites but one domain,
Yeah.
right? So one domain per site, one RODC. That's what Microsoft says. That's on TechNet, right? So if that's the case, either create a child domain or secure it, or otherwise you don't need RODC at all. Then just secure it with different software. And
Situation we cannot create RODC.
so it's they're different sites, but there's still one domain. Okay, this you can create RODC here because it's a separate domain now, right? Child domain is a separate domain, parent domain is a separate domain.
So it means if a company has 10 remote locations, unsecure locations, like less secure, we have to create RODC.
Only
So
one.
all these 10 locations will be into the one site. If
Uh,
they are into the different sites, we cannot create more than one RODC. If they belongs to one site name, that is Toronto, and every 10 locations are in Toronto site name, so they can be at 10 RODCs.
Yes, that is one other. So when we are talking about Active Directory sites and services, we're going to create 6 sites, and we're going to talk about a lot about replication, KCC, ISTG, these terminologies. But the thing is that yes, we can create one site for 10 physical locations. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
We can, but is it recommended? That's what I was
One
thinking.
site for 10 physical locations.
Yeah, 10 physical location, you're considering them a LAN. This means that domain controllers will every 45 seconds be talking to each other across the WAN.
If we are not making that, it is not recommended, then there
Design
how will
way
we
it is-
creating a RODC?
No, so just create child domains per site.
So if you have
Then
multiple
again, security
physical
concerns comes
locations,
under.
No, child domain is, it doesn't inherit group policies of other, of the parent domain. So if you really want per domain, per site is the policy. If you really want RODC there, have a child domain, local domain there, and then they run their own setup, and it's running on RODC. But there are some difference in design when you update to
Running
service pack,
on
new
setup,
service packs.
Running on setup, creating a new child domain for that branch, but again does not
It can be
meet
possible.
the necessity of the RODC. Why we are implementing RODC? Just because of security compromise, LAN
Yeah.
encryption, no one can go there. If we are creating a child domain over there, then there must be a technical guy over there, then there must be some level of security over
No,
there.
you have to just create remotely child domain because WAN connection is there, right? Through WAN connection, you can just create 300 branches with child domains and 3 domains through remotely because you're connected. If you can ping, you can remotely access as
So
well.
we can say that there is a reason to. This is also a reason to deploy the child domains if we want multiple RODCs.
Yeah,
This can
yeah,
be a reason.
yeah.
Otherwise, if we don't want to do anything with that stuff, but why we are getting our child domain is just to create RODCs. That's it.
This could be one of the reason if you're creating an extra domain and if you already have a domain, separate domain. So definitely. So RODC is being deployed a lot, but it has its own complications as well and the design decisions as well. If you have Outlook in your site, then make RODC a GC as well. Just add the GC role there in RODC. GC just, if that branch connection is not, it doesn't suck though. So then you can just have GC as well. And if it doesn't, if it's good, that's why you have Outlook also available there. And although emailing is there by just browser-based, Outlook.
Like at multiple sites, we have implemented direct Outlook client and it worked fine. Especially after
No, with RODC you cannot do that. You should be I think you're talking about this scenario,
Yeah.
or you're talking about yours, sir.
No, I'm talking about.
Okay. So if you're using Microsoft Outlook, it's not browser-based client. If you're using Microsoft Outlook, then you should add GC. This is just a design for those system administrators who are just deploying RODC on a branch which is having these facilities, right? UGMC, Universal Groups Membership Caching. You know what's that? UGMC is just, you have a group and you create a group.
We have to add the user which we want to create.
Exactly. And we're gonna see that now that there will be a group created by Active Directory that will, if you add a user to that group, their credentials will be locally cached on the RODC. We could do pre-staging for the RODC for extra level of authentication, for God's sake. Okay. So anyone remembers what is pre-staging?
Yes.
Yeah.
What was it?
The machines for
MAC
trusted purposes.
addresses and
MAC
When
address.
deploying WDS, we can add GIOD and MAC address in the
Exactly. So pre-stage, even if it is very, very high security thing, it's crazy now. So okay, time for Action. Okay, action. So create a clone and rename. Okay, just forget that. Let's install RODC. Let's use a standalone server and not a member server that is part of the domain. Okay, guys, do we all have member server?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So remember to add a computer account as well, so we could test if the user. So let's create 3 accounts now. Okay, one more thing. This allowed RODC password replication group. Do you see inside the Active Directory right now this allowed RODC password replication group? Allowed. So when you go to your Active Directory here and you go to users container, on your right side, second one is allowed RODC password replication. Do you see? Anyone see that in the Active Directory?
Yeah.
So allowed RODC password replication group is there. Do you see denied
Yes.
also?
Yes.
Denied RODC and allowed RODC, right?
Yes.
So these are the groups that we will add users to, and then those user accounts will be cached. Wow. Okay, no, crashed. No, cached. Yeah. So during the RODC wizard, this group we will see there. So I'm just telling you now, this group which we'll see there during the wizard, it's actually here, right, in the Active Directory. So let me just go there and check. So now we need, okay guys, better, although we did it with member server, on a member server we promoted it to our RODC, but Microsoft says it's better to do it on a standalone server, right? But it's possible both ways. let's just go ahead. So I'm just logging in from my very active directory, and I am hoping or hopping yeah, this is joined to the domain. So how do we start? What is the first step to install RODC? Add the binaries, then start the wizard and just select RODC. See, so simple. Oh, Udemy. Okay, let's log in now. And okay, I have a standalone server. It works both on member server and standalone, right? Standalone, if I'm going for standalone, I just have to add credentials, that's all. So if I go standalone and you go member server, I don't think the steps will be any different. But if you want to just disjoin it from the domain, you can do it. Otherwise, go ahead with the member server you logged in with domain credentials, or you can just log in locally as well and start doing that. It's up to you. So member server with domain login or local login or standalone, you can just promote it to RODC anyway. You just have to give the proper credentials for that. Okay, so it's okay. Great. So I'm just going to log in.
If there is standalone server, then you need not to make it a member server. Like you need to promote.
You don't have to. You don't have. So in fact, in TechNet, it's saying that start with the standalone. So standalone server is what? Standalone is the server which is standing alone, right? So
So the third one is something else.
standing alone. Yeah. So it's like it's not a member server. Member server is a server that is part of the domain. Standalone is not the part of the domain. I was gonna say standalone, standing alone. So and domain controller is
Standing alone is standing with the
standing with member server. Donald Trump. Wait. Donald Trump. No. C. That is DT. Not.
When we are doing like this lab, can it that time just in the short duration just finish that lab? Because if one task we have to see it, we have to see the whole video for 3 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I am like
that is
I am
very
on
good.
next.
Yeah, that's good.
Suppose I missed one thing. Where is the first next? Where is the next? It was like after 15 minutes. But obviously, if we are just going next, we are not be able to.
We will not
understand the
interrupt you.
concept.
No, we are actually stopping.
We will not interrupt you. That's for sure.
Yeah.
One video was assembly for everyone. Without,
But that was one thing. Then there must be at least 2 videos. One is the process, next, and there must be another video which is showing our concepts. Because concepts are more important than next.
So now we create 2 videos, right? I create 2 videos without samosas. That is.
No. We are not
I mean, like without samosa, you're asking that, right?
with samosa, you
I can't.
even
I'm shocked now. No, I understand your point. The thing is that why I'm stopping here. Okay, one thing I should not do. Hey, are you stuck there? Yeah, I'm stuck. Okay, I should not wait for that. Because you already, it's recording. You just follow the video, right?
Yes, that's it.
But now we're discussing. This is knowledge. This you need to listen.
This is more important.
So if we are waiting for discussion, but I'm not gonna. So I'm gonna start the video. I'm gonna start the lab. But if you ask a question, this is for everyone's good, that you should know the answer. If you're discussing a design question, if you're discussing, but that's a very good suggestion that I should not stop for if somebody is stuck somewhere. So, oh, you're there? Okay, you're there. So I just continue. If you can continue, follow, okay. If you cannot, just try to understand and follow at home, right? Is that okay for everyone?
100%. Yes.
So last cohort, they made me do the opposite. Hey, everyone said, you need to wait for us all. They were one group. So this cohort is saying, go ahead. So I'm just gonna go with
We
the
also
feedback.
One group, but we don't want to compromise our
Yeah.
syllabus.
Yeah.
We want to learn as much as we can.
Exactly. That's why your midterm will also be planned that way. We're not gonna use this time to do test. We're gonna cover as many topics as we can, right? So okay, let's go ahead. Oh, this was also recorded, but you're gonna, this discussion was also there. That we should not discuss more. Okay, let's just start that. So I am logged into. So one thing I need to make sure that it is part of it's not part of a domain. Second thing I need to make sure about what I'm on the standalone server. The least I need to know if I can do a name resolution. So I'm just gonna run that command called nslookup. So if that nslookup is give me my preferred DNS, yeah.
We are not joining this domain now.
So I already know that everyone is having a member server. So I'm asking you to go that way, and I want to show you if it is standalone, what is different, right? So you will learn both things. So member server, same steps, nearly same steps. I just need to give extra, I have to go to a select and put my credentials. Hey, I'm a domain administrator, so keep going and keep doing that wizard. Yeah.
Whenever they're installing the server operating system from the WDS, so it will be coming as a standard.
It should not. No, the first lab.
This operating system with the help of WDS, and it says workgroup number.
Then we did not properly configure all the options.
Even I think this is also with your.
Yeah, its name says WDS.
Name
Yeah.
says this is the WDS client.
Yeah.
And this is like same. I have
No,
standard.
but did you see the first lab where we just deployed from the media, that video? Sorry, that DVD. So when we deployed the first lab,
Yes.
so after that it joined automatically, right? This is
We need to cross-check, I think. So.
Hmm?
We need to cross-check this.
Yeah, we should exactly. So guys, nslookup. First, make sure. In my case, of course, I need to make sure because it's standalone. In your case, if it's a member server, just go ahead. But still, it's better to check nslookup. Second thing is this server is a weird name, but I don't want to restart for this, so I'm just gonna go ahead now. I'm just gonna quickly add roles and features next. So I'm just gonna add the binaries first. While I'm adding binaries, we can talk about some more, but this is something we did a couple of gazillion times, so I'm just gonna go fast here.
Now here comes the role of SSD.
Yeah. Oh, okay. SSD gang, please move ahead.
But
I was like out of time yesterday.
Oh.
I was thinking WSCS process complete and it was like start. And I was waiting. Please.
Yours is SSD, right?
Yeah, I have but it takes time.
Oh, okay. Definitely.
Is part of domain. If it is the server has already joined the domain, we can follow this step.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we have to join the domain.
No, it's if it is not, then don't go ahead. If it is, then go ahead with that. So either it's a standalone or member server, it's gonna work the same way. So the binaries are installed. Let me. So I'm just going to promote this server to a domain controller. You're doing the same thing while you're logged in, right? So I'm not logged in. In my case, it is showing this. Okay, let me magnifico it. So this is the screen, but in your case, it should be showing your locally logged in administrator, the domain, not locally, the domain administrator. It is showing for everyone who is, using the member server. Yes, thank you for that. Okay, so yeah, we need member server, which is okay. And I'm just asking that, do you see your administrator here and domain name here? So if it is, yeah, okay. So I'm clicking change now for myself. You don't have to do that because you should be seeing here domain /user, right?
Yeah.
So I'm doing this so because it's just local machine showing here. So in my case, it's Humber domain /Humber admin. Now this is what you're seeing there, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. So let's just go to add new forest and then go ahead and install. I love it. Okay, anyway, so let's just keep at this and go next, right? The first option, the top option. Next. and we don't have DNS yet, so we're just it's already grayed out. Anyone has DNS not grayed out or selected?
Yeah.
Selected and not grayed out, right? So anyone else? So let's just select this one. So okay, and we did rename our site, right? Everyone renamed the site. It should be Toronto, right? Okay, so now the DSRM, let's just go there.
If DNS is already showing check, we have to uncheck it.
It's okay. If you're installing, so suppose on RODC you're installing DNS. DNS has three types: primary, secondary,
And
stub. Primary is read and write. Secondary is
Read only.
secondary is
Read only.
No,
Read only.
secondary is read and write.
Yeah.
The DNS secondary DNS is
Read only.
it's read only. Oh, we're gonna go and do DNS for good half of the time of the lab, right? So secondary and stubs is it doesn't deploy the actual DNS database.
It just tells about that.
Yeah, it's just a kind of a pointer to authoritative DNS. Yeah. Okay, so if it is checked, keep it checked. If it's not checked, leave it, because we're concerned with the RODC options. We need to understand RODC. That's all. Whatever else gets installed is okay. So now if I click next, which I cannot, yeah, the DNS is not great. So okay, what else am I missing here?
And it's not joined to the domain, just like from the road cell.
In your case,
Yeah.
so it's not joined to the domain. It's standalone, and DNS is not great.
Yeah, it's not.
So-
It's option to remove it.
Okay, so there is oh, why is it selecting humberdomain.local? Oh, that's humberdomain.local. Okay, let's go. Oh, now exact. Thank you. So I had to change the humberdomain.local full. So if it is just humberdomain, it may be taking it as a work group either, or it was nothing, right?
So in my case, just write Humber domain and next option is there.
Okay, so every user has a different experience. Welcome to Microsoft. Okay, so let's just blame it on Microsoft. This is, something we can get away with. And still I cannot click next. Why? Yeah.
I have, first of all, I have just entered the Humber admin and password. Then
Sorry?
it automatically comes with Humber domain.
Okay.
Fine. Then I have next. Then the DNS option is grayed out and not selected.
Okay.
And there was next option for me.
Mhm.
But as seen you, I've changed the Humber domain dot local. And again next, now DNS option is not grayed out, it's clicked.
So it's like total opposite of what I'm seeing. No, I believe you. I trust you. Okay. You don't have to show me.
No, but I am able to go
Like
next.
if I was like this, next test is there is no local here. Suppose you will be seeing like this: domain name system unticked and not editable. I'm just doing this dot local,
Then it's not showing, right?
and I think the reason is because we have the local server name as Humber domain.
As a work group, and it's going. That's what I was saying. That it is a work group. It's
Because the name
detecting
is
as a work
same,
group.
because it is deployed by
Yeah,
WDS.
it is the work group, exactly. But if I change it to local and I'm doing this, so I'm properly trying to show it as a domain name, and it is humberdomain dot humber admin, and so everything should be exactly the same, but it is coming from a WDS machine, so more about domain controller options.
I have created a new domain, completely new domain, and I am doing on that. I am not using the existing domain controller which we have used for free purpose.
So no, there's some problemo in my and I don't want to spend on troubleshooting, because if it was production environment I would spend time. here I just want to get over it. So if I go for DNS and if I just uncheck all, it doesn't change the option here. Let me just restart. Yeah, let's restart because the first time I did that, so it sorry.
I changed my DSRM password and it's already installed. No need to connect. Maybe try it again.
Seriously, yes, yes. So there was so much coming here, and I had 2 coffees today, so that 2 coffee always had effect. Seriously, I can do that. Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Just promote it.
Okay, samosas on me. I'm gonna edit that. Yeah. Okay. So promote it. What am I doing, man? Okay. Seriously. But yeah, you took like 2 minutes. Come on. Next time, don't take 2 minutes. Okay. But thank you for this. Humber domain.local. Seriously, sometimes, very small things are just not coming in mind, and very big things are also, coming in mind or whatever. And I'm sure that was there was something in the coffee. Okay, select. There was something sweet in the coffee actually. So Humber domain.local. Hey, Tim Hortons is gone. Okay.
No.
It's still not 4 o'clock. 3-4 minutes. Okay, then it's okay. I'm already not going anyway. So, sometimes it goes so simple. Okay, now I was troubleshooting why next is not coming.
No, you are choosing the middle one.
Huh?
You are choosing, now you have chosen the first one. Before you were choosing.
It was not about that. The middle one is actually, the work group name is the same because it's derived from WDS.
No, but it is MSI.
Yeah, no, I was not choosing MSI. But anyway, the thing was, I just needed to put the path. Okay, anyway, let's not waste any more time. So, okay, I'm already gone.
Just want to know where you here? Because there was a,
Is this a domain you have?
this is domain I have on server 1.
Okay. Yeah, go next. Oh, no. What is this? This is the name of the domain?
On server 1? No.
This is the local server name, right?
Yes.
So put the domain name. That's it.
Okay. Alright.
Yeah. Okay, guys, this is the only screen that we were talking for last, whatever hours. Last 2 hours. 2 hours is passed already? Man. Okay, so delegated administrator account, the top one, this is the only screen that is RODC, that this is going to tell us everything. First of all, a user account that is only a domain user and will remain domain user. Suppose we give them the privileges of local administrator, that doesn't mean that it's going to be automatically added to any of the administrator higher level groups. That just means that the user has been assigned some local privileges to handle this domain controller. But where is that user? We did not create 3 users, right? So let's create 3 users, user 01, 2, 3, and then go ahead. So I'm just going to go quickly to my root DC, go to ADUC, Active Directory users and computers, go to users, and we have 390 users, exchange users, which are just sitting there doing nothing. So ln.read, it would have been easier if there were easier names. I mean, okay, user 01 root 3. Okay, in exchange class used to use those, but then we just said, okay, just forget that. Okay, user 01 and user 01, enter the, okay, I already have that, so good. User 1 is there for me, so I'm just gonna put user 2 there. I think I did not create that, so user must not change login. Okay, it's user 2 is created, user 3. I'm just gonna create the 3rd user now, and then we go back to that screen where we're just gonna add user 1 as, okay, the password should not be here. What am I doing today? User 03. User 03. Okay. The password do not match. Wow.
What you are doing today?
I'm going faster. I'm fast and curious.
That is why.
Okay, so user 123 is done. So let's just go ahead to the third machine and go for the first. Top one is delegated administrator account. So let's just select that. Click select. What is it asking first? For example, enter your credentials for an account with permissions for server 1. Who is server 1 in our case? DC. Is this the same error message you're getting?
No.
You're getting what message? Yeah, and I'm not. So those who are in standalone, you're in standalone as well, right? You're standing alone. Okay.
Yeah.
You're sitting alone.
Sitting alone.
Oops. So no, what happened? This is not exactly the message, right? But you still have to give the Humber admin. So Humber domain / Humber admin. Put the password credentials. Then we're gonna mention the user 01 there, right? First we have to give the domain credentials. If you're a member server, just go ahead and enter the user 01 as the So first of all, I have to go for.
It does not ask me about any password. I just go on advanced user 1 edit that. That's it.
Okay, you did that. Okay,
Yeah.
that's good.
Stand alone.
That's
Isn't it weird thing after like
now.
what now?
Don't add that. Now it's asking the user. So first it's those who are working with standalone server. Put your domain credentials first. Now it's going to offer that screen where we will put user 01.
Here we have here is supposed to
This one, the top one, right? Select.
I have clicked on select
Then just give the domain. No, I know you directly went for
advanced
user 01.
That's it.
Yeah. So
Why?
is it standing alone?
Yes.
Okay. So, but the proper thing is to way to do is first tell you're the domain
It
admin.
was not prompted for me then.
Yeah. If it does not prompt, it's okay. Let's blame it on Microsoft that it's different for different people. So
Same scenario I'm doing.
user 01.
Standalone or members?
Standalone.
User 01 added. Everyone added. It should be showing this, right? Okay, not this. Failed to connect to server 1 as Humber domain / Humber admin. Humber domain. So today is
Not good then.
well, we can say that. So Humber domain .local. It did not connect.
But Amir, why are you doing with the non-join member server like?
Because I wanted to show that no, it's recommended to do that. Otherwise, I always go for member server and it is smooth. Just. I think I should just join. Yeah, you're saying? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think you're right. That let me just try one last time. It's not communicating right now. Seriously? Oh, no, you're all getting this?
Yes.
Oh, seriously?
And I'm not getting anything. And I'm just entered username 01 and that's it.
Okay, let's just do
And
that.
Microsoft, thank you very much.
Thank you.
New prompt screen for me. Exactly same as that.
No, it's just doing that. So, guys, instead of user 02, let's just try user 02. Yeah, it should not have any difference. I don't know what how it just broke this, but if I go ahead once more.
That's fine. Select it. Now it has not asked about it.
No, I did not cancel out. So
Check names, man.
no, it is user 1 is there. So if it was there, it would have got it. So guys, so everyone is getting this. Those who are joined to the member server, those who have are running from member server as well.
No, member server is working fine.
Okay, all the member server ones are working fine. So since there are too much hurdles for a very simple thing, I'm just going to try to save time by just going ahead with joining it to the domain. And it's so much fun to actually WDS serve 03 whatever. And I'm just joining it to the domain right now because there's no time for troubleshooting here. So Humber domain.local.
We got the error. We are not unable to connect to server. Right?
I mean, this can be troubleshooting.
And we are like adding to domain and it is contacting the server.
So does it contact or not?
Let's see.
Because it took the credentials and it took the domain as well, right?
As a genuine person, it should must give the same error.
Let's see. Hey, it's
If it's not
Microsoft.
contacting through that port, through that screen.
Yep.
Why should from this?
So I would just restart. These are desperate attempt number 3.
It be of last resort.
In production environment, we have been, I told you that, restarting, while telling the users we are really on the problem. So that's why I confidently went ahead, because welcome to Microsoft. So
Are you hate Microsoft?
welcome to Microsoft just means that I love it, but see. So it's kind of that. So I just joined it to the domain. I gave up with the standalone because I don't want to stand alone and be troubleshooting it while everyone is just enjoying with the working member server. So I've just joined the domain. Sorry about this stunt. We will not be doing any further stunts. We're gonna just go straight forward labs. If we can do the easiest one, then we can go for the other one. But I love stunts if I have time to do that. So if it goes wrong, just go back and
I was about to do today. I was about to take the collector for 401. Luckily, I didn't take it. I said, let's try the collector. And when I reached there, and
Okay.
I saw like it's
4
3 kilometer.
Oh, man.
There was a big accident.
Oh. So yeah, it's always fun to do some stunts in our production, not production, private environment, in our test lab, and it's always fun to discover new errors and then try to resolve it. But this is a class, so definitely we cannot go for stunts. Yeah.
And he's a member. He has a member server and getting the same error. At least.
Okay.
So
What
I am saying to you,
what wall
be-
should I hit
be
now?
aware on this screen. So I'm warning
No,
you.
it has restarted now.
I'm warning
It's okay.
you.
Restart, refreshes many of the components and bones and liver of Microsoft Windows when it restarts. So I'm just gonna promote that again quickly. I was saying.
I'm saying that key domain lab. Last time there was an error. We are not doing that lab. Next time on that lab, key domain lab.
But we
That was done, man.
we successfully done it in the class, right?
But I had an error like it was coming out of.
So communicate with me, email me, and let's communicate.
But I will follow on this.
Yeah, follow on, please. Yeah. Okay, guys. So now it's I hope it's a smooth ride, but with fingers crossed. So let's just go ahead and have this. So I've just joined it to the domain, and it straightforward is showing me all the correct configurations. So I'm just going next now, and expecting Microsoft not to throw up more errors at me. I had enough for one day. Thank you very much, Microsoft. Okay, I'm just kidding. And the very technical stuff here, DSRM password, which we were stuck in. It was very difficult to go through that, but we were rescued when we gave the password. Okay, this is the screen that we were on, and let's just go ahead because it wasn't that big lab, but we made it big. Okay, I made it big. I just went the wrong way. One time I started
It was
to.
not wrong way.
No. Okay, it was the perfect way, but
Recommended by the Microsoft.
recommended.
Why it is recommended?
No, recommended. It's
No,
recommended
possible.
because Okay, that's in the end I wanted to show, but now I can just say that why it is recommended. If we are doing now with member servers, so our domain admin credentials will be cached locally now, right?
Okay.
That way our domain admin, and there are more reasons actually, more than that, but one of the reason is now at least locally we have our enterprise administrators credentials cached here, and this is no longer a RODC unless we delete that, and we will delete that definitely. But let's just give this not provided, so let's just delegate user 01 now, and if it doesn't happen, let's just throw our laptops out of this window. Don't go for this one, right?
And
The security guy passes from here more.
And start with the first batch.
And if you are willing to throw your laptops outside, I'll be outside first. Let me go there first, right? Okay.
I'm loving my laptop. Go ahead.
Okay.
I'd like to know, you have to restart.
Yeah, I just joined the domain and restarted.
Well, I didn't have to restart, you just join.
It is joined. If it is joined, it's okay. Go ahead with this.
What would be the difference? Why?
Because I'm getting errors. And I'm getting errors a lot, and I don't want to troubleshoot, and I'm desperate, so I just joined it to the domain just to get the lab get it over with, right? We want to understand our RODC concepts, not troubleshoot the side strings. Yep.
Do you now enter the local user member
From domain admin.
member?
Domain admin. Yeah, I logged in from domain. Okay, so user 01. If it gives error, just throw your laptops. Oh no, I mean don't throw your laptops, right? Okay, and it's not giving errors. One restart just. So next step.
Yeah, next step it was given there. Not this one.
No, for me it was giving here. For me.
Restart is like Haripati is going in villages. Whatever the problem is,
Just
give
take
us
that.
a tablet, diclofenac, that's it, and we are done.
So it's a life-saving drug for Microsoft. Just restart the server, right?
Yes.
So, and it's a job-saving drug as well. I was gonna say that in production environment in bank where the 30,000 users were or 20,000 users were affected, and we are like sending emails. We are professionally doing that. Our whole team is on that. While in the background, we are just restarting the server, and it's coming back and emailing the CEO and president and everything. Yes, sir, we are on it, and our this guy is on it, and we are collaborating. All the terminology we are throwing at the 20,000 users. When it restarted, everything's working. Okay, it's working fine. We really worked hard on that, and we made it, and it was a teamwork for us. And my boss would congratulate all the people. My team, congratulations for that. All the drama there and all the show there. In the background, we restarted the server. Okay, anyway, and this happens in 3 months. It happens once. We get the problem. Oh yeah, we know the solution. Okay. Anyway, let's just go ahead now, guys. So much of the gossip, and we're still at here. So, guys, user 1 is added as a delegate. User 2 and 3. If we are caching the credentials of user 2 and 3, we need to add those user 2 and 3 in the allowed RODC password replication group. Where is that group? In Active Directory? Users and computers. So if I go back now quickly here, I just wanted to go back from this point. So just to show you that, okay, if you had already added that. So I'm on the first server now, and I'm in the users, and there is that. If we just make it alphabetical, and there is that, or there is not that allowed administration group, right? Exactly. So double click that, and user 2 and 3, right? So I'm just adding these two users, but I have to come back here, although I can add there straight just a single user as well, but managing those users through a group is better. Okay, what am I doing? User just, and press check name, and 2 and 3. Press OK. Press OK. Apply. OK. So what I did now, added user 2 and 3. They are just going to log in. They have no permission to log into domain to RODC, right? But only user 1 has permission to log in, and we're going to check that as well. So I'm just going to go there, refresh it a couple of million times, and that's it. Go back, and so see this. accounts that are denied from replicating passwords to the RODC. So administrators, server operators, backup operators, if you keep going down, they are denied access because this is a security risk to add those accounts there, right? Oh, by the way, you owe samosas as well, right? Oh, we had the samosas from you, right, for the job? There's one stand. Okay. Okay. So yeah, 2 guys you can. Oh, anyway, so let's just not talk about samosas and be seriously doing this lab. Yeah. Oh. Okay. So we can see denied groups, and if you want to deny some, so you had allowed some user, but you want to deny that, or you did not add it to the allowed group, but you still want to make sure that this user never gets in the allowed group. So when there's the same user in the deny group and the allow group, what happens? If the same user is in the deny group as well as the allow group, what permission affects? Deny, right? So if you want to make sure some user must not be allowed and some junior admin tries to allow, still if that user is in the deny group, the user will be getting the deny permission, right? So anyway, I've added 2 users here and 1 user here. User 1 should be able to make changes in the RODC Active Directory. Okay, so let's go ahead. Next is just next finish, right? So that was the only screen that
What is the IFM option?
Oh, so install from media IFM option is install from media, and it is used
We are doing remotely.
if you do not want to replicate between 2 domain controllers
That is like we have,
over the WAN.
Yeah, we have made
If you don't want, so make a DVD and then go ahead. We're gonna do this lab separately because it requires some commands, and I'm gonna show those commands to you. Sorry. So I'm just adding this server because I'm showing just one server here, server 1. If you're showing 2 or 3 servers, guys, make sure that you specifically mention the first server, right? Do not go for any domain controller. If you are showing 2 or 3 domain controllers, go for the one that you know that is the root DC, right? It has the perfect information. Do not go for any domain controller because we have MSI, we have child domain and tree domain, right?
MSI cannot give me trouble before now.
Oh.
I have to downgrade it.
Okay.
Install.
That's it. We don't need it anymore. Okay, guys. So make sure that you specifically deny here. Specifically deny what? Okay. Exactly. So next, welcome. I was gonna say welcome back, but still I could not say. So then there is that NTDS and syswall. So next, and then we just next and install. Next to Mundo, yeah. Install to Mundo as well. So while RODC is being deployed, we're going to. So what are the results we need from there? What do we need to test once it restarts? First thing, that are we able to log in from any of the user 2 or 3 or not? So we should not be. Are we able to log in from user 1? Yes. Is the user 1 able to make any changes in the Active Directory? It should not be able to. So try to delete something there. Go straight to a domain controller, right click, delete from the user 1 in the Active Directory once it restarts. Yep.
Why is it in this error?
Because it's not communicating with your domain controller, and there must be something wrong. Cannot complete this function. It could be anything. Hey, how did you configure it, man? And unrequired while trying to configure this machine as a domain controller. We have to check a couple of million things here. Yeah, sure. Unrequired while trying to configure this machine as a domain. Oh, it's pretty general. I think you should restart.
I should restart this.
Yeah, I did that same thing,
Start
and
again.
yeah.
So that means the errors come in at different times.
Yeah, I did the research. So I'm checking that domain controller. First of all, since we deployed it through the enterprise admin or the domain administrator, that account is showing here and it is actually locally cached. But once I log in from user 1, that user has the privilege to do maintenance tasks, right? So through user 1, let's just delete the locally cached profile of the domain administrator here, Humber admin, right? So this is just a security best practice because this server was deployed for security, right? So if I go inside through user 1, did I go with user 1? Administrator, domain administrator. So I can log in. Can I make changes through domain administrator if the domain administrator is logged into RODC? Okay, when we were deploying the RODC, there was a deny group there. Deny group was denying to administrators, enterprise admins, anything with higher privilege security group was added there, and it was saying deny, 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 deny. If it is able to log in, so if I go and try to delete something quickly here with domain administrator, anyone, can I do that or not? I mean, will this account be able to delete anything on the RODC, the domain administrator? Yes, no? You're saying no. Anyone else? No one, no two. So there's another answer. Yes? No. Anyone know? There's a yes. Do I hear yes? Oh, okay, it's not an auction. So,
This is necessary. Should I promote?
yeah, promote. Let's start the whole thing again, like the
Okay.
RODC thing. Okay, I'm just trying to remove this management OU. So delete from.
But which user you are logged in?
So no, the enterprise administrator, the king of the jungle,
You are logged in with that and you are
on RODC. So why does an administrator of enterprise, the whole forest, not able to do that? It's an RODC, and RODC specifically denied privileges to all the privileged users, right? So I cannot do that in RODC as an administrator, as a domain administrator, unless I remove my denied permission from RODC there. I'm denied this permission right now on RODC. So anyone hacks an administrator account and comes here as well. Actually, if you hack an administrator account, that hacker would be stupid to come here on RODC. What kind of scenario was that? Anyway, I would just back off from this scenario. I take that scenario back. So anyway, domain administrator can't do anything because all privileged accounts are denied privileges. Okay, anyway, second thing, let's just go through that, our hero of the time, user 01, and go with that. User 01 on RODC. Second test is that the user 01 should be able to delete everything, right? Okay, let's test that too. I hear 2 no's, right? 2 no's. 3 ears. Oh, here. 3 mouth. That's a good one. Okay, so 2 no's. Oh, okay, again. So now this guy has all the privileges here, right? So let's just delete management again from user 01. So yes, you do not have. So nobody has. The privileged user has no privilege, and the unprivileged user has no privilege. Of course, it's unprivileged. Anyway, but anyway, you can see that it's clearly you know it looks like you can do anything, right? But nobody can do anything here. It's secure. That's what I wanted to show. You're able to delete the user on read and write domain controller. Which server are you logged in right now? No.
RODC.
Are you logged into RODC?
Yeah.
Is that a yes?
Yeah.
The YES one?
Yeah.
So anyway, second thing is we tested the domain admin, we tested the user 1. Let's test with user 2 if it can even log in. So should the user 2 be able to log in? There's a yes.
No.
User 2 should be able to log into domain controller or not?
No.
Don't take it back now. I was just trying to have fun with you. Come on. Ruin the whole fun. Okay.
I can delete that.
Still?
Yeah, I can delete that. You can see I'm logged in through administrator.
So please do not deploy RODC in future. So you're a dangerous guy. So what? No way, man.
He used to add some more functionality to it.
No. Anyone else can delete?
If you're saying do 1, 2, 3, and he must be doing 1, 2, 4, 5.
Exactly. Guys, anyone else tried to delete from domain administrator inside RODC? Anyone else tried and succeeded? No one? Oh, no one tried it. Okay. That was bad. Okay, user 2 should be able to log in to domain controller, RODC. You guys did not try domain admin to delete in RODC. So, but still, yes, let's see if the user 2 can log in. If the user 2 cannot log in, that's it. Let's just finish this stunt now. User 2. Yep, it's not allowed. So user 2 was not supposed to log in, and through domain administrator logged in. But so user 1, the first task, if we have promoted this server to RODC through the domain administrator.
I can delete
Okay. So anyone else can confirm that that you are able to delete.
Yeah.
You can delete from domain admin
Yeah.
in RODC.
The point is, we have disabled the administrator and brought up something by the name of Humber admin. Maybe it's because of that.
No, let me show you that as well. No, actually Isam got it. You know, if you change the domain controller and you're on the domain controller first, if you're on the first domain controller and you're logged in with domain admin, so can you change it to RODC with domain admin and try that? Did you try that? Okay, let me just show you. So let me show you what happened there. Humber domain / Humber admin. Let me show you now why. And so here I'm just I'm logged in from RODC with domain admin again now, and let's see who's messaging me for last half hour. Oh, anyway, so okay, do you see here? Just hover over that. Here, which server are we connected to now? Server 1. Server 1 is our. Okay, and if I right click over there, there's a domain controller change as well, right? Which user 1 cannot do, but user with domain admin can do, right? Now I'm changing my domain controller to my domain controller. The second one is the RODC one is this, right? Press OK. Selected domain controller is read only. Yes, I know that. Now if I hover over there, this is my, as a domain admin, I can still change domain controller, right? I can remotely access to stuff in the forest as a domain admin. So just make sure, are you, if you hover there, are you connected to server 01? By default you are, when you're logging in from domain administrator.
They are also those users which we deleted is available here.
Which you deleted.
Yeah, on the server 01, those are available here.
So server 01 said, request is coming from RODC, just deny it. So guys, just hover over there. By default, in domain administrator, you're logged into the read-write domain controller, where you can do everything with domain admin, right?
But I can delete it from.
I know there was coming this thing as well. Yeah. You can also do the.
If we have
What?
something
Server 2, I can delete with the admin.
With server 2. So now I'm logged into server 2. Please try to delete now. And it's I'm not saying it's going to delete because I've been embarrassed so many times. So there is no delete option for domain administrator. So which server were you logged in when you were able to delete?
That was server 1.
Exactly. And by default server 01 always appears. So if you log in from user 01 and try to hover over the servers, and I don't think you will be able to even change domain controller from user 01. If you're able to change, you should not be. So this is why it's showing. So it's not a security bug or anything. It's just that we're not supposed to work with domain admin. We're not supposed to log in from there. If we want to log in and change active directory while we're logged in here, just change domain controller,
No, but
right?
it's coming by default is the server.
For domain admin, right?
So
we're not supposed to
But I
suppose
logged in with the, not with the domain admin, I logged in with simple admin.
user 01.
Yeah, user.
No, whichever user you delegated there.
Yeah.
So you logged in from there. You were able to delete then.
I'm going to do that.
That's what I'm saying. Try to change domain controller from user 01, and then see that will be a security risk if user 01 can change domain controller and then delete as well. That's gonna be a big one.
Server 2, the items for deleting is dim now.
Yeah.
Try it.
So it's a RODC, and as a domain admin, if we are able to do that,
No.
if we are connected to the correct one,
Yeah, then we are not able to do that.
if we are connected to the first one, read and write, we can.
Yeah.
If we are connected to, because we are domain admin, right? If we are connected to the read and write, we should be able to do that, right? But on a RODC, we cannot. But the thing is, we can change domain controller. Okay, so this is the test and the scenarios we did for that. Let's go for a quick group policy, or we can go for forest trust according to your mood. What am I saying? Let's just start group policy. So
We can go on a break.
break. What? So from 1:30 till 2:41.
No, I went home and then came back. I was driving all the time.
There was a long break, man.
I have a question.
Yeah.
We logged in with the domain admins. We directly came up to server 01. We are able to delete the user 3. I deleted it.
Which is not a security bug.
Okay.
We have privileges.
Now I have changed it to the RODC, and what I'm seeing, the user 3 is there, which I have deleted.
So
When I am again coming back to server 1, actual DC,
it is.
there is no user 3 because I have deleted. But in RODC,
Let them replicate. No, I trust you. No, yeah. Oh yeah, sure, it's done. Yeah, sure.
No, I'm saying this.
No, I
When
understand
enemy
what
is
you're
logging,
saying.
This is RODC
Yeah.
and user key is there.
Yeah.
And if I'm changing to actual this, and I have deleted the user 3, and it's not there. And actual server is now it's gone.
Let it replicate. That's all.
Oh,
That's what I was saying. Yeah, replicate. Let it replicate. So guys, yeah.
Sorry. So RODC is still showing the user 3. So RODC will take how much time?
Oh, let them talk. As I said before, some in different environments with different speeds, every factor is involved that when they will start normal replication. So let them give them
Can
time.
we force them to replicate?
Yeah, of
Just
course,
go.
we can do that. Active Directory sites and services. So, since 2 students left, let's start the most important topic. So, we should make sure that they missed it. So, let's not be that brutal, but it's fun. So, guys, RODC, let's just go ahead with the second topic. So, let's prepare for the third topic while doing the second topic. How about that? Let's be more challenging now. Let's try to cover more. So while we are trying to talk about group policies, we're going to be creating a new forest now. How do you create a new forest? Tell me. One domain controller, start a domain controller, just create a new domain, totally new domain. Just new forest, go for new forest, write a new domain. So let me just give you that plan here. Let's just be on the same page. So we're gonna try to do achieve 2 in 1 kind of scenario again.
how to delete the caching of the Humber domain and
From user 01, just log in, go to C drive, go to users, and all the profiles are there which are locally cached.
okay, that will be deleted. And but how to cache the credentials of user 3 and user 2?
They are already cached in the Active Directory RODC. When they try to log in from their own computers, they will be authenticated. So it's a background process. We are not supposed to push something here. We just add it to the right group. They will be cached inside
They
that.
will be cached.
Yeah.
If we haven't added on them on that group, they will be not able to cache.
No way. Yeah. Then they're not cached. Then they depend on forwarding of their authentication request to the second or read and write.
Yeah, this user 1 will be able to do anything on this read-only domain controller, like adding users.
Okay. Again, will be able to do anything, or will not be able to do anything.
It should be. delegate administrative access over this.
So, for example, he can create users in Active Directory.
No, I don't.
User 1 is not supposed to touch Active Directory at all. Like
What will you do?
open user 1 opens Active Directory, that's it. User 1 is not supposed to even open the Active Directory, but it cannot modify anything. That's it. User 1 is supposed to do local administration task of deleting folders, maybe creating some new folders there, and just trying to do maintenance of that server. That's all. Monitoring,
Resetting the password for user to
not even that. Active Directory related anything, user 1 cannot do. So, user 1 cannot. It's not supposed to do that. Okay. So, guys, this is the end of the Forest Trust, and we were doing the Forest Trust.
You cannot do forest.
God, man. So, okay. So, guys, see this new plan, and you're gonna get some challenging labs now, and I'm sure everyone can understand and do that if you want to, because we are in high gear now. So the task 1 is that what the lab we are doing is group policy, but in the background, group policies, like we're gonna talk a lot, and we're gonna be visiting different areas of group policies in server 1, while we will be creating so either you can clone it, or if you have taken a snapshot of any member server, we need a standalone server right now. And create a new forest out of that. So if you have a member server, disjoin it from domain or start cloning. But if you clone, you cannot do the group policy. Start cloning. What we need is a standalone server, right? Either start cloning or just disjoin one member server from domain. What you need to do: create a new forest and use IP 192.168.200.100, and you know what to put in preferred DNS of the new forest DC.
Same as to be its own. It's a new forest, so it has its own DNS, everything.
No, if we create that, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That don't put 200.1 now, right? It's a new forest. It has its own IP address, exactly. So do not put. That's what I was saying, and I was asking. Yep.
Can we remove back these RODC and use this?
Uninstall this if you want. Yeah, exactly. If you can do that. The thing is, from a standalone server, just create a new forest, and its IP should be its own preferred DNS server. Make sure its IP should be its own preferred DNS server. Make sure gateway. So I'm just putting all the information. Yeah. Oh, okay, sure, no problem. Guys, do not. So I'm just putting this 255.255.250 the IP configuration. What about the gateway?
But how you remote without removing the equipment? You don't want to.
What about the preferred DNS server? Same DNS server, exactly. Yeah. So and domain name mcsa domain .local. So just go for a new forest, new IP, this one, new domain name. So create a forest, restart, that's it. Then we're gonna create a forest trust. Yep. Yeah. So new forest for the forest trust, right?
How we can remote the domain controller without removing the binary?
Well, we just go that way. Start removing the domain controller. It's gonna say, hey, first remove the binaries. Then it just gives us the option. No, we first start removing the binaries. Then it gives us the demote domain controller. If you want that straight option, let's Google it. There's PowerShell script I have. I just done. But you just have to put your names and your IP address, not IP address, just the names. Okay, this is the information. Everyone got it. Create a new forest, so we could create, do a forest trust. So this is information for the forest. Go ahead. Let's start with the group policy now. Right?
Give us 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Okay. 4, 3, 2.
5 minutes, not seconds. Because someone has to demote the RODC and someone has to clone it,
Yeah.
someone has to install it.
So yeah, I'm just gonna also create then. So I'm pausing. We are creating that machine for new forest one. Okay, now I'm stuck between you two. So you don't want recording, you want recording. Now, the thing is that I'm just creating now a forest. So let's just record that how to create a forest, right? Which is day 1 actually. Day 1 task. We created a forest on day 1, right? Okay. So still, I'm just going through that forest thing because we're gonna use that naming and IP for the whole lab, right? So we already have one forest. We're just creating a second forest. So we need to make sure about certain things. That is not a day 1 thing. But so already, if you're creating a forest, it's okay. I'm just trying to make sure that we're not doing any mistakes while creating a forest, because when we are doing forest trust, we don't want to see errors because it's frustrating and it's going to consume our time. So we're going to make sure that everything is exactly as it should be and it should work right away.
For this removal of domain controller, even I have uninstalled the binaries and demote the domain controller. Still in the main Active Directory is showing under domain controller. We have to manually delete.
No, so give it time. No, we don't have to manually do it. If it did not give error during the uninstallation, it properly uninstalled, then the metadata will be gone. Restart it or give it time and check again. It should not be there. Okay, so IP address is there, and this is a new forest. So I'm just gonna promote it to domain controller now. The only stuff that we did was that we made sure that the preferred DNS is its own IP. Other than that, it's a day 1 lab. And if I click promote the domain controller, one day it's going to respond to this and start the wizard. Or maybe Monday or Tuesday. Oh, it's post deployment configuration, whatever that means. Or Sunday, yeah. So someday promote the server to a domain controller. Oh, there's a wizard waiting for me. Okay, anyway, today is someday. So let's just go there and put those IP address next finito. Oh, there are so many not here. Let's just quickly do that. And yep.
One of the more things because it's fake.
No.
Verification of field equals different. Oh, I got it. I made a mistake.
Oh, Ravinder Jeet made a mistake.
Restart is pending. Restart is pending.
Oh, okay.
Microsoft Word is pending. Actually, I thought I'm changing my name of this server.
Oh.
Install Active Directory, it will restart the machine and
Yeah.
it will replicate, but it doesn't. Run this.
2 things in one. It doesn't do that. It does that.
It should do that.
Should.
That's why
Microsoft. So yeah, life-saving drug. Restart.
That was I selected restart later, but
Oh.
thanks, I got my error at least.
Oh. So install the forest, and we are about to get ready, and we are about to. It's gonna restart, and oh, don't say that, man. No error, please. Yeah. So while this is going on, actually we were supposed to do group policy while this was going on, but we are just concentrating on forest trust. I mean, like we're just creating the forest. Once it is created, let's just start that then. No point in doing anything else. So everybody has a second forest up and running. Okay, cool. Yes, no, maybe done. Dude, it done.
Some extent.
To some extent, okay. So this means we can still do the group policy thing, right? And this is the end of the group policy lab. And now we will start. Okay, no response. Anyway, so this is the end of group policy lab.
He doesn't care.
Okay, doesn't care. Yeah, I'm trying, but you're not responding. So yeah, it's a bad joke now. So it didn't work. Yeah.
Everyone knows about.
Yeah, I should come up with something new. You're right.
We have to come up with some new ideas.
God, man. Yeah, as long as one or two guys are laughing, it's the joke is still working. When everyone is like staring with bored, then I'll just change something else.
We just laugh because we catch you.
Huh? Okay.
Not for the joke.
God.
Joke. Sorry, guys.
You are thinking about job.
Maybe both are getting.
Okay, so the forest is ready for me, and is that ready for everyone? Hey, we did discuss about that, right?
Yeah.
I'm supposed to just go ahead now.
Yes. You can.
So yeah, the one guy who introduced this, Tamur, he introduced this formula. Just go ahead. Don't wait for us, right? So now, so for forest trust, we have to do done. Okay. So I'm just going for the forest trust. Let's trust the forest now. At least just discuss the rules, the concepts, and then we go for the forest trust. And it must be around somewhere here, I'm sure. There it is. So forest trust is, so we need to learn or know about the trust relationship between all the automatically created domains and stuff. So forest trust hasn't changed from 2008, even if 2003 there was some extra step, but it didn't change from there. So domains and trusts, let's connect two forests, and let's go ahead now. There is this scenario where we have created a child domain, a tree domain, and now we're going to create a forest trust. So if we go for trusts, a trust allows users from different networks to access information on another network. So as long as there is a secure connection between the two networks, all we need is a DC on either side. So if we have domain controller of one company and domain controller of another company, if you have created that, okay, how do you connect two branches using Cisco routers? What protocols do you use to connect two branches? Okay, on Cisco routers, what protocols do you use?
OSPF, BGP.
OSPF, BGP. Okay, what is the significance of MPLS between two branches?
What it has to do with the Cisco protocol?
No, I'm just checking your Cisco knowledge. That's all. It has nothing to do with that, man. No, this means that instead of answering, hey, what is this to do with that? Come on, answer, man.
No,
See this?
Is like
Okay.
eliminating the host.
Eliminating
maybe you are not
MPLS.
connected
MPLS is one of the solutions.
with- No, but even if you are not connected with Cisco router.
No, how do you connect two branches? So you have to connect two branches to, suppose a company bought another company, and now you need to migrate stuff. So it's far away.
Maybe you are connected with
One step.
firewall. Maybe you are connected with any other device.
Okay, how do you basically connect two branches without using Microsoft VPN?
No, you have to create a VPN. You have to
You
just
can use those
From which?
tunnels.
Huh?
You can use those tunnels. You can create your own tunnel and secure it, for example,
Yeah.
GRE tunnel.
But I was just asking about Cisco technology, using that, right?
Don't talk
So
about Cisco.
what's wrong with you, man?
Don't talk about Cisco.
Yeah. So what he's saying is, hey, don't say what doesn't concern you. So that's what he's saying actually. So, God, man.
No, once we have
Okay.
the connectivity,
Yeah.
we can ping the
Yeah.
other.
No. But I'm sorry I ever mentioned about Cisco. I'm very sorry. Next time I'm never gonna talk about Cisco. Okay. Anyway, so but really, what are the Cisco? Why I'm asking one more thing. I want to know what you're learning from Cisco class.
But don't talk about
When
BGP.
see,
It's not part
he's
of the
very
code.
touchy about Cisco. So the thing is, maybe you're not, very much enjoying Cisco class. Okay. Second thing is, if it comes to Hyper-V, I'm gonna test your VMware knowledge as well.
No problem.
Oh, but don't talk about Cisco. So
You know what happened? Amir,
now it is attached to you now.
I asked this
I got you now.
question,
Yeah.
Same question to our instructor.
Okay.
Sir, it's written BGP and this stuff in the course content on the website. Man, I'm going to teach you CCI stuff here. What are you talking? Okay.
So you got that on me now. So he told me I'm gonna catch this guy, but
Then I left
Catch
the
that
class.
one, but
yeah. No, but I got you now. I'm gonna remind you from time to time
I have
now.
already got the credit for CCNA.
CCN.
I'm happy. I have already
No, but you're touchy about questions, right? Cisco related question. Okay, so trust relationship is two-way, one-way, and transitive. What is transitive trust? If we talk about transitive,
A to B, B to C, A to C.
okay, you guys are on the front line, and
he's talking on
so there's a lab and there's a theory. So so transitive. Okay, the next question from there. When there's an interview going on, and if you really confidently say something, that gives the interviewer another question, and the third and the fourth and the fifth. Let's see how deep he is, and if the interviewer has to be in depth as well, he needs to know that knowledge, right? So this is transitive. A trust B, B trust C. So A trust C as well. That's what you said, right? Where does it apply? Okay, suppose you have one forest and 20 domains. Or a child domain. You have a child domain. So humberdomain.local, toronto.humberdomain.local, downtown.toronto.humberdomain.local. So parent domain, child domain, right? So transitive trust means what here? Humberdomain.local, toronto.humberdomain.local, and downtown.toronto.humberdomain.local. So this means that if toronto.humberdomain.local trusts the humberdomain.local, this means that automatically the downtown.toronto.humberdomain.local trusts the humberdomain.local as well. Transitive trust means it just goes. If A trusts B, B trusts C, right? If you have three forests here, so transitive trust does not work there. Forest A trusts forest B trusts forest C. Does forest A trust forest C? It's a mathematical question. I hate maths. So does forest A trust forest C?
mathematics.
Oh, no. Let's come back to Microsoft. So forest A trusts forest C. No, transitivity doesn't work between forests, but transitivity does work in
Child domain.
within the forest. It does work. Between forest does not work. So this is coming now in the slide. As long as there is a secure, trust required direct connection between two forests, maybe different companies collaborating. When you see the lab, you're gonna say that's it, but the concept you have to really talk about. So define your forest and domain structure. Dedicated forest, root domain, single domain forest, multiple domain forest. This is just saying that your company bought another company. Just do your homework. Check how many child domains you have, how many tree domains you have. What is your structure, overall structure? So just try to do that. Multiple trees. If you have more trees and multiple forests, maybe your company has multiple forests as well, right? Just do your homework. That's what it's saying before you start doing something. So there are two terms we use: trusting domain and trusted domain. So employees are using the resources over domain. Employees and resources. Source, target. Which one is trusting? The one which has employees or the one which has the sources to access? Which one is trusting and which one is trusted here?
A is trusting and B is trusted.
So trusting means what?
I am trusting you and you are taking advantage of that.
Yeah.
And using my resources.
So resources is with trusting or trusted?
Trusting.
Resources is trusting.
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 So users are the trust in the trusted domain. resources are in the trusting domain. So the owner of the trusting domain is trusting the users that yes, you can access, I trust you, right? So this is what it's saying. Now it's gonna get a little complicated, so that's why I just wanted to make it clear.
Very clear from that diagram.
Okay.
There was
Yeah, I should not put that diagram. I should put the question first. But anyway, it's clearer, quicker. So transitivity, we talked about it, right?
yes.
Now, what does it show? Yeah.
Okay, it's the other way around. So because the trusted domain becomes trusting domain,
Here, right?
B to A.
So can the trust, whichever is a trusting domain, can it become a trusted domain as well?
If it's the two-way,
If it's a two-way trust,
then it's trusted.
then it is both trusting and trusted. If it is one-way trust, then which way trust you want? Which employees of which side? Employees of which side want to access the resources of which side? So that's how you're gonna create the trust, right? So now we're gonna create the trust. Actually, we're gonna start. So we're gonna see where to go and what to do, right? So we know that, right?
Resources in
Yeah.
the trusted domain.
Let's
So-
say we have taken over one company.
Mhm.
Our company has taken
Mhm.
over one other company.
Yeah.
Now our employees want
The other company to access the resources.
no, our company employees want to access the resources of others. So that has to trust our.
So
our
this company will be
trusted.
Trusting.
Is that
Trusting.
Our company is trusted.
Our company is trusted.
Yes. And
This
that
company is
the
trusting, exactly.
Yeah.
While he was explaining, you were looking at someone. He was explaining for you.
I thought it was asking
Okay. So while he was saying, I was looking at you. Where are you looking now? You should be looking there. But anyway, it's if the company is, so you are buying our company.
Yeah.
So our company employees want to access your resources. So you're trusting our employees now. So this means you're trusting, I'm trusted. If I'm trusted, I can access your resources. If I'm not trusted, I cannot access your resources. So you're trusting, offering the resources. I'm trusted. Okay, thank you for giving me access to the file server, giving me access to the print servers and stuff.
As long as you don't betray the trust.
So, and don't betray the trust. Yeah, definitely. But you bought the company, right? So you're the owner now anyway, and that's why you would just give the trust. So this is showing transitivity. 3 companies, 3 different independent companies. So one company trusts the other one trusts still another one. That doesn't mean the first company trusts the third one, right? You have to
A plus C, like.
so A trusts B, B trusts C, but A will never trust C. If you want A to trust C, what will you do?
You have to create another.
You have to create that special trust relationship with C as well. You already have a trust relationship with B, but you have to separately go through that wizard. And we're going to go through that wizard now, and you're going to see that, there are steps, and you have to be very careful. Okay, what? He was excited. He's excited right now. This is so good topic. Okay. No, sorry. So if anyone has a Halloween costume right now, so at once show something, and he was like, oh, my hiccup is okay. But this picture always gets some people confused. So the question is, look at the picture and tell me, is it 1 forest or 2 forest? Are we talking about 2 forests connecting each other? Or are we talking about something else?
These are two forests.
Mix
Two forests.
Okay, there is a, yeah, anyone say?
Two.
So everyone is saying,
One forest.
Two.
no, any one answer. Come on, you cannot have all answers.
One forest.
One forest.
That's
Oh, come on.
One forest. One forest.
That's tree root.
Tell me how. How?
That's the forest.
New name is tree root. Tree root. Name is tree domain.
So,
So that is the part of the forest, but with a different name. So that becomes a tree.
is that correct?
Has written tree root domain.
So, how is it not a 2 forest? It's 1 forest, exactly. So everyone started from 2 and went to 1,
Because then
right?
when they check like
When I checked
The naming, the wordings, exactly. If it was talking about 2 forest, it would be clear words. but here it says tree domain, although it's clearly that totally different names are showing here, right? But it's saying it's a tree domain. Now we understand already tree domain, so we come to the conclusion this is a one forest.
So there are different child domains, but we have one big tree domain. So one
Exactly.
tree domain with two child domains and one root is having one child domain.
So it is
It is one forest.
one forest.
One forest, two trees.
Yeah, it's one forest, two trees, but it is one forest. So in this cohort has done marvelously well. Last all cohorts, half of them know it's two forests. I had to explain that.
No, but it is how it is two trees.
No, it's one tree.
Oh, it is one tree only. Tree is one domain.
The names are different.
So if you see this
Yeah.
and if you see this,
These are two tree domains.
This is child domain.
wingtiptoys.com, tailspintoys.com.
Mhm. These are two different trees.
Yeah, there are two different trees.
The names are different.
Names are different.
You're going for com, but we tried the tree lab, right? We kept that local for both names. The initial name was different, right? But local was there. We were still able to create tree. So yes, prefix is different. It's a tree, right? But if we select the tree there specifically, of course. So
In the new forest, it becomes the RODC, and that is a tree also. Single domain is a tree also.
Yeah.
With creating next, then it becomes the
Yeah,
next.
you are right. Now you are.
but how is the trust working? So when we talked about the tree domain, we talked about the root domain of the tree has two-way trust relationship with the root domain of the parent domain. You got it, right? The first domain ever created during the tree domain creation has two-way trust relationship between the root domain of the forest, right? Or root domain of the other tree. But the childs of the both trees have nothing to do. They do not have by default trust relationship. But since they are in the same forest, you can create trust relationship easily, anytime, with any one of those child domain to child domain, child domain to child domain. You can create any kind of one-way, two-way trust relationship, right? Because they're same part of the forest. Okay, what about this? Shortcut trust. So, this was how trust work within a forest. Yes, two top level tree domains, and then their child domains. They have trust relationship between their parents, two-way trust, right? So, what is this? Shortcut trust. The child domain of first tree wants to access the child domain of the second tree. Yes, we can create a direct relation, two-way trust relationship. Yes, we can create just one-way relationship between the root of that tree, of the first tree, root domain of the first tree, to the child domain of the second tree. Clear? Any questions here on this diagram?
So shortcut
It's-
trust are trust which are not by default, but we can do.
We can make it, and we can make with anyone, right? Because we're part of the forest, right? Once we're not part of the forest, that's gonna come. What is this? External trust and ream trust. Ream. Okay. What? How do you say that? Real M trust.
Rain.
Realm.
Round.
Realm. Not rum. Realm. What is going on here? What is sorry?
Am I right? They do not pronounce the L. Ram.
Rem.
Whenever L comes after.
Hey, it's Canada. They talk about. Can you ask them
No, but
instead of
what about
ask them?
Often.
Often or ask
They
them.
never say calm. They say calm.
No, but
Yeah,
they call
calm.
often.
So ream. Okay. Whoa. What was that? Okay.
Someone's getting angry.
Okay. So ream, trust or external trust. There's a difference here. What is the difference? So first of all, external trust. What is that? External trust is that a child domain of a Windows forest is connecting to either another forest or I should have asked now. Are these two forests or two or one forest?
Two forests.
All fun is gone. Anyway, so external means you're going out of the forest now, right? Ream means, so ream and external, the difference is the child domain of one forest is connecting to either the child domain of another forest or to the root domain of the second forest In this case, both networks are Microsoft networks. Ream means Microsoft network to a Linux network, right? A trust relationship is created between those, and there's a software that is used for that in Linux environment. I asked about Linux.
Say the first
Huh?
Say the
Samba. So Samba. Forest trusts, we're gonna do that now. So root domain of first forest connecting to the root domain of the second forest. That's exactly what we're about to do. While the child domain trusts are two-way trusts automatically created, right? Trust directions. Yeah, we talked about in the detail. So you can direct from one way to another, and from A to B, B to C. We just talked about in the hands-on time. Okay, so DC promo should not be showing here because it's not Windows 2008. Okay, you got me. I'm just using this slide from Windows 2008 classes.
No,
Me and my big mouth.
expected that. We still in a
Shock.
relationship.
Okay. So, but in our upgrade lab domain controller, we're gonna have 2003 also. So we're gonna 2003, 2008, 2012. We're gonna have fun. 2016 now. Okay. So guys, very simple lab. This is very simple lab. I hope everyone succeeds the first time, but it's not going to be the case. What's going on first? The DNS part, and very mucho importante DNS part, right? It's, I know it's wrong Spanish, but nobody's correcting me anyway. So this means nobody knows Spanish. So the thing is, DNS part, forests. So you bought the second company. The second company needs to all the users and every object is, needs to be migrated. But first you have to create a forest trust relationship. How do you do that? The name resolution between the two forests has to be perfect first. They have to see each other first. Through DNS they can see, right? So DNS part has to be done on both forests exactly the same way. The DNS of first forest should have information, the FQDN and IP of the second forest's DNS server. The second forest DNS server should have the FQDN and IP of the first forest DNS server. If that is perfect, then we can start the wizard from any one of the forests, the forest trust relationship wizard. So if DNS part is not good, go back and make it correct, right? So let's do this first. But what is the bigger picture here? We start the new zone wizard and then choose stub zone. All it does is to tell you whether the other network is there and or not. Stub zone gets replicated to all the DNS servers, and this green should be showing there. Of course, we are on the same network right now, right? But if we compare it to the production environment, how would it be? You have to have, you should be pinging to each other. If you're pinging, then name resolution is only, you can easily configure name resolution if both DNS servers have the addresses of each other, the proper addresses of each other's DNS server. Yep. For DNS. In firewalls, there's more than this activity that is going on there. Exactly, that's a very good point. The firewall, exceptions should be added for the traffic, DNS traffic. But now we're gonna be doing, the first step is the DNS part. Second step is, so it's just two major steps. First step, let's do that and make sure it's perfect, right? First thing, please ping your DC of first forest to the second forest. If your ping is not working, make it work. So please, ping should be
the
so.
same subnet for both.
Yeah, because we are assuming that both networks are connected right now with MPLS. Okay, so so
in production environment,
we're not gonna do Cisco. We're not gonna do Cisco part here. Now you're asking us to do.
It's a trap. He doesn't want to catch you in Cisco.
So we're not doing the Cisco part. That's why we have a. So we're assuming we are communicating with each other, right? If we don't assume that, then good luck communicating each other. Just learn in Cisco class how to communicate. Oh no, sorry. Okay, so what I'm saying is that we are assuming that in a private lab, we are already pinging. If you cannot ping across the WAN, then first sort that out. How would you want the routing, or you need to create a tunnel, VPN tunnel for that. We're gonna do a Microsoft VPN as well. We're gonna understand all the concepts there as well, and we're going to test VPN as well in our private lab. Anyway, so but if you really want to go over internet, then we need a published, a public IP address for that, and we can do that. Suppose you are connected already. The steps you're going to take in the production environment are the exact steps we're going to take here now. We need to understand what are the features of Forest Trust. So we're assuming the communication is there already, but the main emphasis is how Forest Trust really work, right? So let's go to our DNSs of both forests. If you have configured, if you made sure that pinging is going on, ping the IP addresses first, then then we're gonna configure the DNS, then we're gonna ping by name as well, right? So if IP addresses are pinging, so make sure that firewalls are off right now, right? So we need to configure. So I'm just gonna go back to the forest now. Okay, so make sure, I'm making sure that MCSA domain.local. You can MCSA domain.local, but you can just name it anything. Right? So I'm just pinging to 192.168.200.1. Yeah, exactly. It's pinging, so we're good. And this means that, and I've created that forest, so I'm sure that firewall might be on 100. And it's not on. So okay, so DNS part, exactly the same steps. I'm on the first forest right now. Is it clear?
We have domain firewall on.
Better turn it off, because during the wizard, it's a long wizard, and wherever it stops, we don't want the firewall to be the reason for that. It should be some Forest Trust related reason. Okay, and it's not gonna say the reason as well. But let's just go to our DNS first. So I'm just gonna go to tools. If I'm on the first forest, I need information FQDN and IP address of the DNS server of the second forest. If I'm on the second forest, I need the FQDN and IP address information of the first forest DNS server. So both DNS servers are getting along together. They are trying to know each other, the DNS servers first of each other. So what am I doing here? So I'm just going to create a stub zone for that, right? So how do you create a stub zone? Everyone inside the forest. So right click the forward lookup zone, click new zone, and there's that wizard for welcome to the new zone. Next. So there's primary zone, secondary zone, and stub zone, right? So I'm just gonna create a stub zone here. Stub zone is just for having the information of the authoritative DNS server wherever it is, right? If you're communicating with that, yep.
Can we use conditional forwarding instead of
As well, we can use both. We can use conditional forwarder as well as stub zone, both.
But before this stuff, where you were checking the green thing?
The
green thing.
no, it's coming now.
No, this is the first step you are doing.
This is the first step I'm doing.
Without any.
Man, Cisco. So in Hyper-V, we're going to talk about VMware. In RDS, remote desktop services, we're going to talk about Citrix. So we're going to compare, right? So although we're not doing anything branch connecting, in VPN, we're going to again talk about branch connection without Cisco. Exactly, Juniper. We're going to go for Huawei and Juniper. Cisco is banned from today here. So okay, anyway, but this is just a joke, right? So stub zone, but definitely, as you said, we can go for conditional forwarder. All the DNS needs to know is the information about the other DNS server, the FQDN and the Okay, so next, when we go for stub zone, yeah, you want to put that information to all across the forest or across the domain. We just have one DNS server, so wherever it is, just keep it there. If we had more child domains and they had DNS servers across the forest, we want to do that, you can go for above step. If you have backward compatibility or older servers, you can go for lower. Default step is the one we're taking. Next, so what's the zone name? So we are on humberdomain.local and our opposite server is mcsa domain.local. So the zone name would be mcsa domain.local, and then it's gonna ask, of course, who is this, where is this, what is this. Other domain name, that's it. Other forest domain. And vice versa. Exactly these steps there for this. Yeah. So I'm on humberdomain.local first, and I have already given the domain name. Oh, seriously, why did I go back? Okay, stop zone, yeah. And yeah, mcsa domain name.local. Next, the IP address, of course, yeah. So 192.168, which we already have a communication to, 200.100, right? Now the green thingy, exactly. If the communication is right, the green thingy, exactly. So MPLS.
Oh, technology works that use.
Oh wow. Okay, sorry. Hey, that's my friend. Come on, old friend. So don't take anything. Okay. Anyway, sorry.
What's that use the above servers to create a local list of masters?
Master servers are our authenticated DNS servers. So a list of so Google has multiple DNS servers. Like when you want to resolve names there, or you want to ping the DNS server's name there, so it gives 4 or 5 addresses instead of 1. So these are all the list of master servers which are handling the read and write database of the DNS. So it could be any authenticated server for related to that domain. So okay, next finish, exactly same on the other side for this side, right? Zone name there would be the domain name of this one, right? Okay, next, finito. Uno. What's uno? Oh, uno, dos, tres. Hey, I know Spanish. Okay, so I'm on the second forest, and I'm just gonna open the DNS console, do the same thing. Unos, dos, tres. Okay, so here it is. Forward lookup zone. We know the drill now. New zone. Right click. Next. Stub zone. Next. Default. And humberdomain.local. Enter. IP address 192.168.200.1 and green thingy. Next, finish. Guys, make sure in each other's DNS console you're seeing both of the domain names, both of the names. Okay, refresh this, and further, I mean, although it's refreshed, but ipconfig flush DNS register DNS is good to have when you really want to make sure the DNS settings are perfect. Although if you don't do that, it's okay. So yeah. So whatever DNS changes we have made, we want to make sure that they are perfect. So I'm just going for extra stuff. We need to see the results now. ipconfig/flush DNS, enter, ipconfig/register DNS, just for the fun of running the commands. No, it's good. I mean, refreshing the whole thing, right? So on the first forest, I'm going for the second forest as well, and ipconfig/flush DNS, ipconfig/ come on, don't go, man. You're making me really sad now. Okay. Yeah, man. Register DNS. Okay, it needs elevation. Somehow I. Okay,
We can do, flush DNS.
and register DNS.
No, but registered DNS, why we cannot do?
Actually, just flush DNS is also okay. It's just that I'm just confirming everything. It makes sure is okay. If DNS is not good, we are going to have an error in the forest trust relationship. So I'm just making sure. Okay, we're done. So let's just go with the wizard now, and I'm just gonna go back to the slide here. Just checking if I did not miss anything, but I'm sure I did not. But hey, if there are a million steps, always make sure. Yeah, green thingy, trust part. Yeah, so DNS part is there, trust part is now there. We need to do, and okay.
Can we achieve this thing with the host file as well? No, just for the third.
Yes, it's good for as an extra thing, not. The DNS should be really doing that. Host file is like you're hard coding the thing. Yeah.
Host file is just for records. Can it be like this? Because we are going to ask so
No.
many things about the domain.
Yeah, the host file is just for
Resolution.
hard coding. So you really want to name resolution with specific server. On this level, just don't go for that.
Okay.
It's
If you ask for service records, SRV records, host records.
exactly. It's just plain simple resolution to one IP and one name. Definite. You're right. I mean, like it's just a question, yeah. But if you ask that, it's not recommended on that level. This is big level, and definitely there are many information that you would want, and only authenticated DNS server can supply that information, right? So okay, where do we go to start the wizard of Forest Trust? Yeah. Tools, Active Directory, domains and trusts, and there it is on tools. Okay, this you don't need to do on both. Any one you can start, either from there or here. What you need is, so suppose it was a production environment and you were starting this trust relationship, you need to know the administrator password of the second root domain administrator, or whichever account is responsible for doing this forest trust. Creating this forest trust, you need the password to be written here in this wizard. So you and that administrator will be on that call, and that administrator will tell for that privileged domain that password is there, this, and I had gone through these calls, and the other administrator has the most craziest passwords of all times, and he would just keep doing @ and then % and 7 and capital F. And then he would just keep going at something rubbish as password as. I'm like, whoa, thank you very much. It ended. I have tears of joy now. Anyway, so
But it's a moment of silence when other administrator is giving administrator password.
and that's
Now regret.
that's ego tearing apart of that administrator. You need my password. Oh, I'm gonna. Okay, I don't say that. But anyway, so let's just go for active domains and trust, and
You are on a trusted domain right now.
I'm on the.
Trusted or trusting domain.
It's two-way. And also there is two ways, so both are trusted and trusting, right? Because both employees will be accessing resources of each other. If we can go for the easiest one, then we can play with the more complicated one. Second thing is, there are two options still. You want to give forest-wide access to others, or you want to give access to specific servers and resources to other clients. It's up to you. We're gonna go, as I said, for the easiest one. Then you can play with all the other options. If we cannot do the easiest one, good luck. First do the easiest one then, and then go for the complicated one, right? If you're successful, that's good. Right click this. No, right click this. No, right click this. No, I wanted to say that. No, come on. So, and go for properties, right? So Humber domain or local, either you can start from that MCSA domain, it's the same thing. Trusts, and then there is new trust, right? So new trust, now the wizard starts, and Good luck, guys. So next, it's going to be straightforward. So it says trust name. You can create a trust by using an advisor or DNS name of who. Type the name of the domain forest stream for this trust. If you type the name of forest, you must type a DNS name. So which trust wizard, which DNS name is it talking about? This forest DNS name or the DNS name of this other forest?
This was 100. Type the name of the domain first.
Oh.
This trust.
For you can create a trust by using an address for this trust, because it's not very helping, right?
Name of the forest.
So example DNS name is for. So we have. So oh seriously, did I change the name of that guy? Because
No.
oh man, oh thank God it's not that rubbish thing. WDS serve 03. So it's the WDS serve 03. I'm putting the FQDN of the DNS server of the other forest. WDS server 03 dot MCSA domain dot local. Okay, next. Now it says trust type. The name you specified is not a valid Windows domain name. Is the specified name a Kerberos v5? So what do we do? Is everyone on this screen?
Yep.
Yes.
So it did not recognize that. Trust with Windows domain or Ream domain? Okay. If we go next, retype the name of the domain. Retype the name of the domain. So it says domain name. It's not FQDN. Okay, good. Now it's okay. So yeah, so instead of FQDN, just go for the domain name, not the FQDN, like the server name and the domain name. Okay, is it an external trust or a forest trust? Forest trust. Now we will be asked about. Oh, did I press next? Okay. Is it going to be two-way trust? One-way incoming, one-way out. What's the difference between one-way incoming and one-way outgoing?
So you have selected the forest trust?
Yeah, we have to select forest trust. We're not going one-way trust between external, other forests. We're just going two-way full forest trust, right? One-way incoming is
You are the selected to trusted the forest. That's pretty much.
okay. Again, one-way incoming is who is accessing the resources of who.
The other one is accessing your.
So our employees are accessing the resources of the other forest here.
No,
No,
they are
voice of
accessing
it.
because we are trusting them.
Yeah. So we are the trusting, they're the trusted, right?
Yeah.
So what about the one-way outgoing? Users in the specified domain. Specified means other. Whenever it uses the word specified, it's the other domain, right?
Okay.
Other forest, actually. Users of the specified domain can be authenticated in this domain. This is outgoing trust. So the above one is users in this domain can be authenticated. We are the trusted if it is incoming trust. They are trusting. And in the below one, we are the trusting and they are the trusted. Above one, we are the trusted. Okay, anyway. So others are like, okay, yeah, trusted. Who cares? Just go ahead.
Just trust.
Yeah, trust and go. Two-way. Okay. So sides of trust. If you have appropriate permissions in both domains, you can create both sides of the trust relationship. So yes, we have, or otherwise in production environment, the other administrator after the higher management says cooperate with this administrator or else. So other administrator on the phone at this time now that hey, I need a password now. Okay, and the whole long story, his life story. The password is. I went to this college, then there, and I was kicked out, and I joined the job, I earned million. Okay, anyway, both this domain and the specified domain, yes, I want to configure it from one location, right?
So you created two-way?
Yep, two-way. So both this domain and the specified domain, now the password. MCSA domain, it's clearly saying what is the administrator password. So there we are administrator.
They are administrating.
Their administrator, ours is Humber admin. So their administrator and password. So if all goes well, okay, good. So their credentials are here. Now what? Forest-wide authentication, selective authentication. What does that mean? Very clear actually. Forest-wide, you're opening the whole forest for the other users, and selective authentication,
Maybe just some domain.
or even the objects, servers. So then you have to be very specific. You have to go one by one. That's a long task. But sometimes you just want to give access to one file server, or maybe just one server. Not all forest-wide authentication. If you bought the company, it's another thing. So according to your company requirements and scenarios, and what you suggest as a system administrator, right? So forest-wide authentication, outgoing trust authentication, level local forest. What does this mean? Users in the specified means the other forest. Users in the specified forest can be authenticated to use all of the resources in the local forest. So you want to give other users to use all the resources. Let's just go for forest-wide authentication. Next. You want your users to have all-out authentication on the other forest, right? Same thing. Next. Okay, good luck. I hope nobody gets an error. But I'll go for test as well. Next. Now making the trust changes. And routed name suffixes. So it detected that name suffixes in the Humber domain.local. We have child domain and tree domain, but it's not showing actually the child domain. It's not doing. It's just showing the tree domain. Anyway, okay.
Will you cancel?
No. If I cancel, it would not show that. But is it showing MCSA domain.local as a forest trust type? Yes, because we have cohort8.net as tree. We have msi.humber as child. So we're okay.
We came up with another prompt, like confirm outgoing.
Yeah, confirm if it says, because it did not give me. And welcome to Microsoft again. Okay, different people, different experience. What? While doing the same steps. Okay, so confirm, yes. Say yes to any confirm for both sides.
Okay, it's asking both incoming and
Yeah.
outgoing both.
Again, confirm yes.
From the incoming trust, yeah.
Yes. Finished. And if it shows successfully, because we already have child domain and we already have tree domain, now we have a forest trust. But let's put it to test. So let's add our user to their administrator backup operator security group. Let's add their administrator to our backup operator security group. So let's add our administrator to their backup operators group. Let's add their administrator to our backup operators group. Can we do that? Backup operators group or any security group, right? There's a backup operator security group. So let me just show you now. Let's just put it to test now. That is it created? Really, it's working. So if I'm on the second domain, and we need to do it both ways, right? So I'm on the second domain, MCSA domain, and on the second forest actually, and going to the Active Directory users and computers on the second forest. And I need to go to the built-in groups, and then I need to go to the backup operators group. There it is. So backup operators group, double click that. I need to add the administrator of the other forest here now. So go to members, go to add, and exactly as you said, go to add, and then locations. If it shows your other forest, there you go. It should show your other forest, right? So Humber domain.local, press OK, and I can go for any user. I know there's a user 01 there, so you can just add any user, right? Just to check. Check name, yes, there is a user 1 for Humber domain.local. Press OK, press OK. So oh, I added it to backup operators, right? So user 01 Humber domain.local is there, and if I go OK here, so it's just it's in the MCSA domain in the backup operators. It is there, right? So if I go back now to the first forest and I want to add their administrator, that's the only account we have, right? So administrator account to our backup operators. So I'm just gonna open this because we need to check two-way trust, right? So add Active Directory user in computers. Go for built-in here. Go for backup operators here. Members. Add locations, and we should be seeing the second forest here. There you go. Now you can just choose the administrator or user, whichever user you want to add. Check name to adminis. There's the administrator account. Press OK, and there we go. Yay! So we have like forest trust completed and tested. Yeah.
The members tab for backup operators.
Yeah. So double click the members tab. Now MCSA domain is here in humberdomain.local. Okay, so we added the users to each other's forest as well. That's what we put it to test on, and it's working fine. So we created the forest trust now, and we understood about the trust relationship as well, right? So so we can start now Active Directory sites and services. That is mucho importante, interesting topic. Yeah, go ahead. Okay. So you will start smiling and like okay. So this is okay. There's no question, right? Okay, let's go for either group policy or Active Directory sites and services.
Active Directory site and services.
So Active Directory sites and services is mucho importante. Mucho importante. So seriously, are you kidding me? Okay, anyway. So Active Directory sites and services, mucho importante, but it's not a small topic. So I'm just gonna start that now.
When I try to add, it is asking username and administrator username and password after that.
It should not ask for that. That what is your credentials, right? So this means although you put the credentials during the wizard, somehow it's not getting those because
Where did we put the
credentials in the start. When we put the domain name there for at the start of the we did.
I didn't put it.
It did not come there to put the credentials.
That's Microsoft again.
Yeah, just blame it on Microsoft. But no. So is it successful? Is it successful?
Yeah, it is successful. Right now, I am. Which user I'm logged in? Let me see which user I'm.
Oh, okay. Or try it first with the administrator, domain administrator. Then try for the normal user. Okay, so there is that Active Directory sites and services. So Active Directory sites and services is all about replication and all about your Active Directory knowing that how many branches are there, how many sites are there, what subnets are they using, and what are the site links that we can talk about the cost of the site and other stuff. But Active Directory sites and services replication overview, we're going to create 6 sites there, total of 6 sites, and then we're going to try to put subnet information there that okay, this branch has this subnet, that branch has this subnet, that branch has this subnet. Active Directory will know that, and also then we're gonna configure the IP site links for that. But what are Active Directory partitions and why they are created? So partitions, configuration partition, schema partition, domain partition, and application partition. Configuration and schema partitions are replicated by all the domain controllers, whether they are child domain, whether they are tree domain, whether they are domain, whether they are parent domain, right? So these are the 2 partitions that need information, because if they are part of the forest, they need to replicate this information. Domain partition and application partition, it's according to the changes. So domain partition, anyone knows what is a domain partition? What is included in the domain partition? The Active Directory ADUC related information, day-to-day tasks, whatever changes are made in day-to-day tasks are replicated across the other Active Directory's domain partition. Why Active Directory partitions are created? Why was it partitioned anyway? Because if so, suppose there are 200 branches, and you have 200. Each branch has a domain controllers or 200 domain controllers. So now, if every domain controller's Active Directory starts sending all data whenever there's a change made, and all partitions start sending that data, it's gonna overwhelm the full the bandwidth. It's going to have a lot of replication traffic. So if there's a change only in the domain partition, it's going to update the domain partitions of all the other Active Directories, right? If there's a change in configuration partition, it's updating only, triggering the change and replicating that information to the configuration partition of the other domain controller's Active Directory, right? So whichever partition has any change triggered, then that only portion should send the replication instead of all the other portions already which has some data there. There's one partition missing here actually. Application is there. So what is application partition anyway? So true or false? When we install Active Directory, there's information of one application installed or available inside the application partition. When we install Active Directory and restart the domain controller, there is one application that is whose information is already there. True. And what is that application? Okay, application partition is something, yeah, you're right, other than Active Directory. Any application that is independently working as separate from Active Directory. So Exchange server integrates with Active Directory, right? SCCM server integrates, SQL Server, SharePoint, they have their own, not SQL Server. SQL Server integrates? No, it does not create any. Yeah, it does. Okay. So application, anything that integrates with Active Directory, its information should be in the application partition, right? So if that DNS related updates are there triggered, so if the other domain controller has DNS installed and it is Active Directory integrated DNS as well on the other domain controller, so then the application partition DNS portion will trigger that update, and that replication should be going to just the application partition DNS area of that should be updated. So main purpose of partition, whichever particular area has some change, only that should replicate, not the whole Active Directory should replicate and take over the if there are 200 domain controllers, that would be a huge amount of traffic, right? What is multi-master replication? There is single master replication and multi-master replication in Active Directory.
Multi-master.
Yeah, multi-master replication. What is that? There are multiple masters in Active Directory. What is master? So what is multi-master replication? Change can happen on any domain controller, right? Any administrator is connected to any domain controller. So that domain controller will spread that or replicate that change to all others, right? So to one domain controller.
Yeah.
So suppose there are 200 domain controllers and the change happened on the 77th domain controller, suppose.
Yeah.
So it will send that, replicate that information to which domain controller?
The master.
What define master domain controller? What is master domain controller? The root DC?
Yeah, he's in charge of that whole replication and keeping those records.
The one who has the
Then what's the purpose of multi-master? Huh?
The one has the FISMO role is called master.
Which one is automatically the FISMO role holder? Automatically the root DC of the root domain is the FISMO role holder, right? Okay, that means it's a single master, right?
No, it's not. It will replicate to all others.
It will replicate to all the others. So multi-master is, what's the process of multi-master then?
Changes made.
Whatever changes are made, they are
Any domain controller, it will replicate to all others.
and from there So version numbers, active, if there's 200 users created in one domain controller, there's a version number addition, which means that, oh, it has one more change or specific changes in this domain controller. If other domain controllers have lesser version number, which means that those changes have not been replicated to the other domain controllers. So they will replicate those changes, they will get those changes, and then their version number will be on the same level, right? So version number is one of those ways that Active Directory or domain controllers will trace that, oh, all the changes are here, but I did not receive that replication, right? So yeah.
That is something with the, like this same like the serial number in the DNS.
In the DNS, exactly. It's the same thing. So it's just tracing the that changes. So multi-master replication. Then there is pull replication and store and forward replication. What is the pull replication? Well, it says it's the domain controller pulls the information if there is a trigger and it knows that, and or if their version number is lower, then it will pull the replication. Oh, my version number is lower and that is higher, so this means it has more information. I need to replicate that, so it requests that information, right? Store and forward means that within branch, within site, every DC talks every 45 seconds after a change is happened, right? In between branches, between sites, 180 minutes. So till 180 minutes, there would have been lots of changes done, right? Till 180 minutes. So this means it's storing, and then when the 180 minutes is passed, it's going to send those replication changes or all those changes made in one site over the WAN to the other site, and it's going to compress the data as well, right? So store and forward is that. Then there are partitions. Key characteristics of Active Directory replication include automatic generation of an efficient, robust replication topology. Then it's just saying we are the best. Okay. Hey, you know what, guys? Today I need to run.
We can imagine
It's okay.
the ringing of the.
Yeah, and it's like I'm saying, huh? Okay, so it's
He has a valid reason. He just received the money. So he has a valid reason to move out.
money.
He received the money right now.
Oh, really? I did? Oh, okay, anyway. No, but that would not be the reason. That is something else. So,
Now he's waiting for the party.
Yeah, it has the.
how do you know that? It's Saturday evening. Yeah, we're invited somewhere. So guys, we're gonna continue with the sites and services. Please, the screenshots are piling up for some of us, and please start sending those screenshots and try to be on top of it. There's more complicated labs coming, especially the clustering lab and the certificate services lab, the ADCS. So these will be just it's going to take the whole day, actually, just one lab even, it has so many things. So we're going to continue with this ATDS, and yes, the unattended installation, we're going to start from that next Saturday. So have your WDS intact for one more Saturday, and then definitely we're going to be going for that. So let's just I would